And bam. Hi, guys. We are here with episode 16. Episode 16. We're quickly closing that gap, right? Quickly closing the gap on our game's end. Is anybody ready for it?
Nope.
No.
I'm ready to kill things.
I guess you could say the experience overall is harrowing.
Okay, all right.
I thought he was only supposed to be with us sometimes.
You guys wanted him to stay around.
That was past Misty.
That was.
They're like, how bad can he
voting.
be? 2 sessions later, they're all, why is he still here?
Yeah, we
He can
didn't
stay.
know him yet, so.
Right.
That's,
You can't sit with us.
like with all my
Choices were
friends, they
made.
all made the same mistake. They're all, hey, he doesn't seem that bad. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Give it time.
This is I mean, I suppose we deserve this, but it's good. It's good to see you guys back, man. I'm happy to have the full squad, and I know Ella's kind of like going through some things right now. You said that you've got an ulcer, man. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, like at any second it can flare up and I'll just be debilitated for an hour, but you know, let's roll the dice tonight. We're playing D&D, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, it's go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you tried Pepto-Bismol enemas?
Oh no, at this point I'm on medication. I'm on medication and a strict diet. Like I have to be, because if it gets any worse, then I gotta be like operated on basically. So
Ouch.
yeah, so I'm
that.
I'm just taking it easy. I haven't been streaming like at all for like the last couple of weeks because like ulcers work on stress. So I've just been resting and yeah. Thanks for asking though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so
I just
don't
hope-
stress us out, bub.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah, no
whoa,
stress
whoa,
tonight.
whoa.
Easy, relax.
Hold the fucking phone. I'm guaranteed to stress you guys out at least a little bit, okay? Especially
And that's
based
all
on the
on you,
card.
bub.
I hope
Well-
it doesn't happen during combat, just because I'm gonna be like, dang, Ella's really selling this combat damage right now.
Oh man. No, I'm no, tonight should be good. There is a scheduled encounter, right? There's a scheduled encounter, but courtesy of chat coming through with not only the luck rolls but the Harrow card tonight. There's some really cool stuff. I wasn't expecting some of it to come up, but it's gonna be a madhouse. So, well, I guess without further ado, let's go into a recap. What happened last time we played, guys?
Things.
And stuff.
Things and stuff. Okay, all right.
Stuff and things.
Well,
Fiery things.
Ryan Kendra were outside with Professor L. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, Ryan.
Yeah, sure. What happened with Ryan and Professor? Did you guys did you initiate the old secret handshake and
yeah, we played hopscotch.
I knew
we
it.
We just reminisced about old times and yeah, no, he was undead and he was shambling towards us and Rye heroically got in between because he's a hero, mind you. Got in between Kendra and the undead Petros and pretty much saved the day as far as I remember it. He basically single-handedly took down all the undead and
I think the person who was actually the hero was probably me.
okay, make your case.
I jumped in the way to protect my friend, and I casted a shield.
Mhm.
And I took a lot of damage.
and then you got fucked up. It was pretty rough, to be honest.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like I really drove the victory of last week home.
Yeah, you know what? I rewatched that whole thing, and I was still caught off guard by. Is it weird that I was turned on, and then the immediate knee snap reaction from Ello of no, not at all.
Yeah, because see what's happening right now is Imperial and I are understanding that our characters are definitely falling for each other. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, sure.
Okay. I mean,
He
not
says
very
falling,
many people.
I have a different opinion. It's close,
Listen.
but not exact.
Okay,
See,
all right.
she thought
Did I
you were
mention that
saying
Rye is a
falling
hero?
to the evil side.
I'm just saying that Rye is a hero. That's what we need to remember, and that the ladies pretty much want to be with him.
Sure. I
Yeah.
should note that I saved the entire town from burning down by killing
Other
one
means.
particular person.
Yes. You
Again, I
stopped-
also
stopped the
think
town from
Oz
burning down
saved
from other
the town
means.
from burning down by making rain.
However,
Literally making it rain.
I would say I have a
indeed,
portion
the-
of that because I watched you steal it and just giggled in the shadows and let you do it.
Well,
I was a
to
little
be fair,
concerned about the winds coming out from inside the tavern, spreading the fire, but
it was kind of an alley oop,
it
though,
was-
right? Like, if
Mm.
had there not
Some
been
rain
fire,
later.
the storm bobble wouldn't have been useful. So that was kind of an alley oop there, I think.
Temerity looked to the group. She's like, "You guys want to see me make an orphan? Bam!" And then just
Wow!
blew up Zokar
Wow!
straight up.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I would like to note I was trying to cast True Strike,
Yes.
so I
And
would
you did.
only
I'm
hit
sure
the
Zokar
skeleton.
will thank you for that.
And you
thought.
know what? You know what, Imperial? That was the truest strike you could lay into somebody.
Yeah.
Truest.
Death blow.
You got your
I saw
hero deck.
that.
I'm gonna start reading my own tarot cards here.
Okay,
See
okay.
what I'm
So
gonna do to Xander.
I feel like this is a
No.
little confusing for chat. Listen, chat. Here's what happened. So Petros shows up. He's undead. We fight him.
Mhm.
Okay. We're able to stop him, kill
Yes.
him, or end him. Then we go inside, but not much later, we're hearing screams
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
down. Okay. So several of us run to investigate. At
Everything's
this point,
completely
Kendra was hurt badly, accidentally by Eli in the Petros battle. So he was taking care of Kendra and trying to stabilize her while the rest of us ran to help other people in the town. We saw Zokar was in trouble. Temerity jumped into action to cast True Strike. But chat decided to change the entire course of her life
To heat things
by
up.
changing into a fireball, which shot at by the way, Zokar was under attack by his late wife.
Yes.
The undead are basically attacking the town. And blew them both up with a fireball. Which was lucky, actually, because his son was going to take it. The 11-year-old, what was it? What's his name again?
Peverin.
Peverin. Yeah,
Yeah,
Peverin.
Peverin.
Peverin the orphan.
I'm really taking over here. Is that okay? I'm just like trying to get everybody
No,
caught
do your
up.
thing, man. Do your thing.
I mean, I remember it differently, but whatever.
Oh.
Eli, at this point, I believe he was trying to collect pieces of Petros' body and bring it inside to kind of like,
Marinate.
bury the dead, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Give a proper burial
give him
again.
proper burial. Yeah. So he's like trying
He's
to
trying
take
to get
care of
all his
Kendra.
pieces.
Yeah, he's
too.
picking
Yeah,
up
just
dead.
contained the threat.
Yeah. And
Don't
so
forget the flesh sleeve.
I remember Rye and Temerity giving the professor hugs. Like they were just greeting him for the first time. They seen him in a while. And then Rye was like, "Don't hurt him, Eli." And I was like, "Fuck that." And I just started smacking him. And then he hit Kendra too. Don't know what you guys were doing there as
I
well.
was protecting Kendra.
And I'm not. You're doing great. It's these other two that are giving the professor hugs. Instead of
It was-
punching him, he finally punched him. Oh, that was like really brutal actually, because he just punched
Yeah.
like right through his
Wait,
face.
didn't you
through his
hammer-
head.
yeah, didn't I punch him the most I could punch him?
You did after the hugs failed. Yeah.
I hugged him to the ground.
Yep. To hold
Didn't
him
you-
in place.
She like grappled him.
Well,
Yeah, I
Eli's
did, like, I
calling
got him to the back
hugging.
and, like,
Cobalt, didn't you hammer like railroad spike Loremore's ribs into
The
his
only
daughter?
way.
Yeah, I just want to point out
Get
how
out
I
of the way,
glossed
Kendra.
I glossed over Eli's betrayal of Kendra and how he murdered her. Basically, I glossed
saved her.
over it,
I
and then
saved
you
her.
came back to shit on us
Sewed
for
her up.
hugging
For what
the
it's worth,
undead.
also going back and rewatching the last episode, you also glossed over how Zokar died with him.
Yeah. You lied
Zokar
to me
died.
about
Oh, how did
Zokar die?
You left out very important details, which I'm gonna find out anyway.
Okay,
So-
listen. Okay, it was in the heat of the moment. Right now, protecting Temerity's character is more important to Rai than you knowing the gritty details of how Zokar died. And I
Yes.
didn't lie. Because we don't know if
You
he was
just
dead or
left
not.
Out. Actually, you did lie.
I did not lie.
We'll just protect her character by misleading everybody.
No, that's not. Listen. Rai saw Zokar on the ground with blood. Okay, it was never confirmed he was alive after that attack from his undead wife. We didn't know if he was alive or dead. Now that fireball, for all intent, from Rye's
He
perspective,
was screaming.
I do.
no, we didn't hear. No.
I fired rounds before that ball went
We
off.
heard
I was
indis-
right there.
Yep.
Torvin, you saw that Zokar was still alive?
Yes.
Okay,
He
Rye
was
did not
screaming.
know that. No, okay, hold on. We need to back up. We heard indiscriminate screams.
Bullshit.
We heard
I-
indiscriminate screams.
I
And
specifically
we went
heard,
to
Rye,
investigate."
I'm being attacked by my dead wife. Help me!" And then we're on
No,
fire.
that is not what happened. That is not what happened.
And now
Listen,
you've made Pevrin one of us.
I'm just saying that there is a chance Zokar was dead before the fireball hit.
No.
No,
There's-
yeah,
you
no.
can't say no.
Yeah, you
I-
can.
we
Why
don't
not?
know.
Absolutely can.
No.
I
From Rye's
absolutely will.
perspective,
My
he
eyes
cannot
were
say.
absolutely there.
Oh yeah. From Torvin, yeah, maybe, but like from I'm not playing Torvin. I'm playing Rye.
Yep.
Rye's perspective, Zokar could have been dead before that fireball hit. That's the reality he's choosing to live in.
So a
That
fireball
fireball.
occurred. I think that's the only thing that we can't agree to disagree upon at this moment, that a fireball actually occurred.
Mm.
So how did that go down outside of the true strike?
Hold on a second. Why is everyone saying that Rye's always changing his story?
Oh,
That is not true.
I mean, we could be here for days. Chat gonna chat. You know how it is.
Oh my gosh.
It all started with a dog.
Well, you know, that's honestly like, they still got a bone to pick with you, man. It's the dog.
I know this. They've been biased against Rye.
I feel like Hap should have been a target as well for the fireball. Just by the gazebo. Just laying there in the
Well,
rain.
You know,
The rain came after.
I fucked it. That's my fault, I suppose. That's my fault. But it's okay because like Hap's alive for now.
Oh, and then the guy
Maybe-
that stopped him the first time when they were on their way to bury the professor,
Giblet.
Rye encountered him.
Gib having us.
Yeah, he had a war razor that the Splatterman is known for using.
No. None of them. None of the what you know thus far. None of the prisoners were known for using a war razor.
But one of them was known into carving people's names, right?
It could be a red herring, though. It could be that someone else also has a war razor and they're part of the same group.
Or he's just a
We know there's an
psychopath,
X.
completely. You know, he
That
could just be
too.
a crazy. He could just be going crazy, completely independent of anything that's happening.
That's the thing too. That's something you guys can't ignore. So what else do I have here? What did I write down about last session? The storm
Took
ball
some
occurred.
Kids too.
That was a pretty monumental moment. Was the lobbing of the storm ball. And what I found like probably the most uncanny thing about all of it was, despite the fireball ending Zokar's life, the passing of the ball when Rye looked to Oz and was like, "You did good, kid. Good job."
Yeah.
It's like that was such a sweet yet awkward moment right there. It's like our only friend in town is now
He's
melting.
burning alive, and Oz is smiling.
And Oz is so happy and smiling.
And the tavern and the diary.
Allegedly died to the fireball.
Allegedly died of fireball. Correct.
And I was there for when you lied to Eli. It's just a hot mess.
Groven's never getting his ball back.
No, there's gonna be
What ball?
some comeuppance for that. Oh, he knows. He's gonna fucking know.
Come at me, bro.
Go.
My bluff is pretty high.
All right. I mean, I believe, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. You can roll the dice. We'll see how what happens here.
Okay.
Torvin, I'd like to take a second to briefly discuss your interaction with Temerity. You guys entered the town hall with the children that you had found after their parents lie slain in the yard. You had showed some apprehension because you witnessed the events of Temerity firing literally a ball of flame from her hand.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And there was some apprehension there. You were kind of like keeping your distance. You weren't really showing fear, but you were definitely keeping some pace back because you're not really certainly sure of what she's capable of. Do you think
In
that's something
essence.
that's going to linger with Torvin, or is this like, oh man, this land is doing some weird stuff to magic?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. I understand it's the location here that's causing this. I'm concerned that with that knowledge, we have people throwing spells nonetheless.
Sure.
And
Yeah, was it
that's-
life or death?
That's like, if you had a bow, and it was a wonderful bow, great magical bow, but every, occasion you'd fire it, it would actually shoot somebody else. Would you use that bow? And basically, we're seeing spellcasters using that bow. So I'm a little concerned from that front.
Sure, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Now, I asked my chat before stream today, before this actual game happened. I wanted to know if you as the players could identify the correlation between all three attacks.
All three what attacks?
The attacks of the deceased upon the living.
Are you asking me? Or are you
Anybody
asking
here.
us?
Anybody?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was because they knew them in real life. They had a
Yeah, it was a loved
relationship
one.
with them, and yeah.
Yeah,
connection.
they shared an intimate relationship of some sort,
Correct.
whether it be love or familial love or romantic love.
Yeah. Yeah, they came back to, unfortunately, finish some business. Wasn't sure if I did a good enough job of explaining that, so I was hoping that was sold there. Okay.
Yeah, I think even Oz, I said in character, was that like it's like some kind of spirit that was coming back to haunt them, basically. Attack them.
So for those that are first times in tonight, to give you the cliff notes, the TLDR of the entire experience, I'm going to try to wrap it up fairly quickly here. The players, as their characters, Rye, Torvin, Oz, Eli, Temerity, they were invited to come to this town of Ravengrow because one of their friends, a dear comrade by the name of Petros Lorimore, had died, and they were named in the last living will and testament. They were told to come to this particular place so that they could celebrate his life and to reap whatever reward remained in his estate. As they were reading the testament, it more or less came out to be that he needed help with his daughter, that they needed to stay around for a month to make sure that his daughter, Kendra Lorimore, could decide whether or not she was staying in this town or she was moving on forever. This is when all the weirdness happened. They discovered that the Petros was actually investigating some really dark shit at the recently, I suppose in recent past. It's been 50 years since the Harrowstone prison, about 2 miles away, was completely left. How do I want to say this? It was left standing, but not entirely vacated. Something occurred 50 years prior, and now that there are a bit of a boogeyman story that follows around it. Ghosts, apparitions, hauntings. Now children sing about this place, and nobody goes there. Yet interestingly enough, this is where Petros' body was found. His face was mangled, practically destroyed. There's a lot more foul play, and the players have discovered quite a lot, but not at first without discovering that the hauntings are actually real. Harrowstone was a gulag for the worst of the worst in the land. The 5 nastiest prisoners that have ever ventured there, who had, between the 5 of them, killed probably in the upper hundreds of people, staged an escape, a mutiny of sorts, if you will, which led to the death of everyone in the prison. 50 years later, something has occurred. Now they're breaking free. This is where we are right now. This is where we are right now. So, friends, the last... What was the last thing that happened?
There was a couple things.
Okay, hit me with it. What you got?
Basically, Torvin, Temerity, and Tripp. So, Rye, Eli, and Oz were getting it together while there was healing happening, and then we were telling Eli all the things. And then Torvin, Temerity, and Tripp went to the town hall where Vashian was there, and he assisted them with the 2 kids.
Yes.
And then mentioned he was visited by his lost child, or his child who he lost or something like that in the war, some kind of war or something. And then Gib arrived, and people started sitting in the pews, and Vashian was like, I'm gonna call a town meeting. And so people started coming into the town hall. Tripp, who stole, we didn't talk about this, but Tripp stole a dagger from Rye earlier on.
Yes.
Slipped into the town hall, and he like kicked Gibbs' legs and put a dagger to his back, and then he called like Temerity and Torvin over, and Temerity like was trying to take the kids to the temple. I think that's what you were trying to do, Temerity. But then someone, like, as that was happening, someone like burst in and was like, Brother Grimbarrow is dead, and he did it. It was you. And he was like pointing to Gib. And
yeah,
I think that's where we left off.
Did we miss anything?
Well,
There was a lot.
yeah.
Peverin got booted. Tripp got booted from Peverin, or they separated for some reason, and Peverin went running to his father. Because there was it because? Yeah, it was because of Petros, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we miss Father Grimbarrow dying?
That was right
Sorry.
at the end.
Yeah, that's what I just
right at the
mentioned.
end.
Okay, sorry. I was finishing putting in my new stuff.
We don't even know how yet.
I think that we covered everything for the most part. Just might have been not all in the right order.
Okay. All right. Seems good. Seems good enough. We ready?
Yes.
All right,
Actually,
guys.
no, not ready. My character sheet is stuck on level 2.
But yeah, I haven't rolled for my
You mean stuck on level 2.
HP.
You mean you haven't leveled it up?
And it,
No,
So
like
click on
I literally
additional,
can't
or wait.
change it.
Okay.
It's
I
like
don't think we can.
Click on
unedited.
configuration.
Go
and
into
then
configuration
go-
at the top.
Oh,
You can see
we
like your
leveled.
level, like your class, and then you have to
You have
you
to
have
manually
put
change
level
it.
3.
Yep.
And you have to,
Yeah.
and you have to like change all the deeds. By you mean you can't. You mean you haven't.
where? Okay, so where's that?
There's a main, additionals, and spells, and then configuration.
there
On
it
your
is.
character
Oh,
sheet.
gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So
I see
yes,
it.
I have not yet.
Whoa.
So I roll a D8 for my health, though, right?
Whoa. What just happened to my camera here? Hold on. It just went mad full screen. That was fucking weird.
Hello.
Strange. All right, we're better now. Now, rolling rules. For the dice, are you happy with a 4 out of 8, or do you feel like you can roll better? Remember, if you roll, you forfeit your previous number.
Keep it.
You gonna keep a 5? Okay, remember to add in your Constitution modifier.
So 6. 27. And now I have all the rest of it done. So.
Okay, all right. So, Chad, just in case you didn't know, all the players leveled up. They're level 3 now, which is kind of cool. And again, those sheets will be leaked. Once they hit level 4, I will be putting those on Patreon. Their level 2s are on Patreon as well. You can get those. Your call if you want or not. It's up to you. If you're a patron, go get it. Now, 3, they're all, yeah, yes, they are in fact. So, friends, we are going to start tonight's events not at the town hall. We're going to pull this back, and we're going to move it specifically over to Cobalt's character here, Eli. Eli, you are with Oz, and you were with Rye, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
We are
You-
not in the town hall.
You have just finished discussing the death of Zokar, or so you believe you finished discussing the death of Zokar. The camera pulled very quickly following some of the more major events when we were discussing children. Kendra has just been remotely operated on. She's been stitched up. Still a bit of an ugly mess, but she'll survive this. You were able to irrigate the wound, removing some of the mass and matter from the decayed Petros Lorimor. You still have Benjamin Kaler. You pushed him up against the wall at this point. He's still this almost catatonic mess. His breathing is shaken and barely noticeable. He's constantly stuck in this almost like 1,000-yard stare. Hands are at his side. His duster is opened. You've managed to soak up most of the blood on the back of his head, and it's scabbed up, at least nicely enough that it's not going to continue running. The floor is riddled with mirror glass. And the 3 of you are there. Who would like to take the stage first?
stayed.
Yes.
Is that me?
Oz, what do you do here? Between the three of you, I want to know. What's going through Oz's mind?
Well, I mean, so Professor Loremore's body's there, but he's dead though, right?
His body,
In a chest.
you heard that his person has been collected, that he's been placed inside of a chest of drawers.
I mean, Oz is kind of sad, I guess, in regards to that, and then he's a little confused why Rye is lying to Eli now, or not lying, but like not telling him the full.
Not giving him
truth.
the full truth, correct?
Yeah. He's more just like he's kind of like waiting to find
Sure.
out what's next, boss, kind of vibe.
How is Oz feeling right now, considering the recent passing and the death of Zokar, who's been one of the few people who've actually, taken you in, offered you free food, discussed ways of making food. He's kind of been a pal.
In regards to Zokar,
Yeah.
I think Rye is sad, or not Rye, Oz is sad that Zokar has passed, but I think that there's bigger problems right now that so Oz has a thing where he doesn't want to die. So
That checks
he's
out.
always looking out for himself first and foremost. So I think right now he's just like, I think I even said this last episode, like Oz is like, we need to go to Harrowstone. We need to stop whatever's happening before more people die, I think is his thought process.
Yeah, Rye is kind of right there with Oz mentally, like, because even Ryan Zokar had moments, right? He's kind of been a buddy to Rye as well, but there's too much going on right now for Rye to focus on anything like that. Like, he can't mourn right now. It's not the time. Like, maybe once all this is done, he can process it. But right now, he's just kind of in go mode, which is largely why he didn't explain the whole thing about fireballs blowing up Zokar, because that seems like kind of muddies what's happening, right?
Sure, of course.
He just wants to check on them and see if they're good. And then, Rye's actually going to go over to the sheriff. Is he just standing? I'm just going to kind of look at him. Like, after I'm done talking to Eli, I just walk over. I just kind of stare at him.
You guys, you more or less drug him up against the wall. So he's like ass on the floor. His back is to the wall. His head's sort of slumped over, and his hands are on the floor next to him.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of like crouch down, I guess. I thought he was like up against the wall. He's breathing, right? He's alive?
Functionally, yeah. He looks as alive as they're going to get. He's just sort of stuck. You can tell something's happened to him. Like, you snap, you kind of poke him. No response.
No response at all. He doesn't look up or anything. I'm going to slap him a little bit. I'm going to give him like a man slap, like the kind of movies where you're trying to like knock somebody out of it.
Yeah, get their attention. You do. There's an audible, like, just the pap noise of your hand beating the front of his face, and it jars, but it sort of like slobber knocks him in the sense that like his head sort of shakes, and it shakes off that energy, but then it just kind of falls back. His eyes never train on you.
I look back over after that at Oz and Eli, and I just say, is there some sort of magic here? What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I've been trying to get through to him up until I saw the professor, but I had more pressing priorities to deal with until now.
Oz will
Come
go
on,
over,
Sheriff.
look at him, inspect him. Does it look like it's some kind of magic?
What would you like to use? Is there anything that you feel like you might want to try to, what skill you might use to check this?
Knowledge Arcana?
Sure. And so you're gonna basically dole back into the depths of your mind of what you may have been taught or what you may have seen. So let's see what you got.
18.
18's pretty good. You are familiar with those that are recent to magic. They're recent to sort of supernatural experiences. Now, this is far more common with like transmutation or like teleportation magic, right? Anybody who's ever been through a teleportation spell generally tends to have like this wild vertigo sense. They generally vomit, and they can't really sort of keep their bearings about them. And this might be a sort of similar situation, though. You're not really sure what sort of magic has hit him. Your best guess, it could be some form of necromancy, or there's something supernatural afoot. You're not entirely sure.
I feel different after that last fight. I don't think he took much damage, but I can try my best to heal him up, and maybe that will help. And I'll stoop down.
No, I actually like kind of like put my hand up to Eli, like, hold on. I'd save whatever magics you have. He seems fine. He seems stable. I think we should probably try to get everybody to the chapel. I was hoping we could wake him up and tell him to take care of Kendra, but it's clear to me we have to go to the prison. We have to. We're not going to stop any of this until we get there. But I don't want to leave her.
If we don't get there before they finish spelling out that name, things are going to keep getting worse.
I nod. And like as I'm nodding, I'm kind of like putting it together. Rye's starting to kind of put it together like, oh, she's right. As we've discovered more letters, things have become increasingly more chaotic. And I don't think Rye really put that together at first. So he's kind of like, he feels supported in his decision. Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, well, sounds like we need to find the others then. I don't want to leave quite yet. You guys can go ahead, and I'll just make sure that Kendra is nice and stable before I head that way, so I know we have some time before she needs her wounds treated and her bandages changed.
Can we leave her like that?
She does seem stable. I've stopped the bleeding. She's got water. She's in a warm room. To the best of my knowledge, she should be fine. She's stabilized.
And can we leave her with him? And I look over at the sheriff. Because he's still
I can drag him into the other room and lock the door, if that'll make you feel better before I leave.
Let's take him to the chapel.
Perceptions, please, from the three of you.
Sure.
It's going to be a little easier for Oz to pick this up. Oz is not immediately in the conversation, and has generally been a bit more perceptive all the way around.
24.
The dice do not lie. Oz, you hear someone approaching the outside of the building. You can hear their feet against the grating sound of the wind and the rain above. It's just like that sloshy noise of puddling before you hear the creaking of the wood on the steps outside.
Oz like puts up his hand and he's like, I think someone's coming.
Right,
And his giant ear kind of like twitches.
Sure. There's a rapping at the door. Hello? Kendra?
Do we recognize the voice?
It's a little harder to immediately determine, but they are quite loud and very derelict about the way that they speak. They hang on syllables. Someone with education. That's what you can pick up with immediately.
Sound like Gorman or whatever his name is?
No, it doesn't sound like Gorvin. Does anybody glance out of the room?
Rye just gets up and goes to the
Hello?
door.
Okay.
Oz will creep out and look.
Sure. You, the three of you sort of like turn the corner and you glance, and it's Vashian Hearthmount.
Oh, Vashian.
I go to open the door.
The door's actually, it's been left open up to this point.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's like knocking on the door and kind of yelling in to see if there's anybody home. When he sees you, he takes a step in just inside of the house. I was hoping to find Miss Lorimore, but with no surprise that you're here. You are staying, of course.
Fortunately, she's not conscious right now. She took a pretty nasty wound from, well, what looked like the remains of her father before we were able to stop him.
I am rather familiar. I have seen similar things myself. He doesn't seem to want to sort of explain on it a bit further. Excuse me, for the time. I am moving door to door to gather those for an emergency town meeting to discuss some of the events at hand. We would like for your attendance. The rest of your comrades are there.
Yes, I think we were just headed that way. I was just going to check on Miss Laura Moore and make sure that she was stable before we left.
Now, you guys didn't drag, this is back to Bub here. You guys didn't drag Benjen into a different room.
No, he's still there.
Not trying to hide anything, really.
Sure.
We've also got the sheriff here in the other room. We found him. He looks like he's lost his senses.
Oh. Well, will you need...
Catatonic.
Stars and stuff. Will you need help carrying him, or would you like me to take... I'm not... Like, he kind of glances, he's like, not what I once was, but I can aid.
I can probably get him. I walk over to the sheriff and try to kind of like,
Give me a strength check.
Sure.
Dead weight is very different.
I would really like to be alone with him for a minute.
Ooh.
But because I think I might be able to get him to snap too.
Sure. Do you say that while Raya's trying to pick him up?
Yeah, if you tell me, I'll let you try.
I really didn't want him to know, which is kind of why I was like, you guys should get on and I'll be right there. And he's like, let's bring him. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to take him anyway, I'll just say it out loud to them, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've trusted you thus far. I have no reason to doubt your abilities. And if the two of you declare that you are more than capable, then I'll be on my way. I have more to alert to the events that are happening in the town.
I nod at him.
While that conversation's happening between them all, Oz is kind of like sense motivating to see if he's trying to like trick us.
Sure. No, what you pick up, right? Like, he's uneasy. Given the turn of events, he is definitely uneasy. It doesn't seem like he's lying. A little shaken in his regard.
I think we're their only hope right now, and they're pretty desperate.
I know, but Oz is super sus right now. Like, everyone, like,
unless
people
he's in on it.
Like, yeah. his long lost friend is coming to life and trying to murder his friends, his new friends, and then like some dude's killing some other dude. There's people killing their loved ones. It's chaos.
It is a little chaotic, yes.
I look over at Eli and I'm kind of fumbling with Sheriff, and I'm just like, he's a heavy fucker.
Did Vashin leave?
Yeah, he'll leave. He's gonna make haste. Even in his age, he's gonna move pretty quickly.
He's trying to get all the people.
Oh, are you gonna tell us now? Okay, gotcha.
So Rai, I know you don't want me to use any of my abilities. You think we might need them, but I think I might be able to get him to snap too if you just give me a second. He might be able to tell us something. I'm not sure if it'll work, but I think it's at least worth a try.
Oz is kind of like really interested in what Eli's gonna do, so he's like watching tentatively.
Yeah, do whatever you gotta do. He's heavy as fuck, so hopefully you can wake him up.
Just hold him up and hold him still for a second.
Okay.
All right, Sheriff. We're from the same place. I know it wasn't easy, so I know you've been through some stuff already, and this is nothing different. You can get through it too. And I'll try to cast Lay on Hands on him, or I'll put my hand on him and do Lay on Hands. But I have, I don't know what's afflicting him, but I have Mercy for Shaken. So if he's shaken, it would cure that.
Okay, can you put this up in the Discord, or not Discord, but in the Roll20, please? I'd love to read and see what you might be taking from this. Never mind, guys. Nothing that we do here is sort of rules is written, right? So I'm going to be reading this and sort of leaning on Cobalt's interpretation of what this might be in the situation.
So it's an extra ability that I get at level 3 that adds an effect to my Lay on Hands, and I get to pick a Mercy that will remove like a negative debuff. And the one I picked was when somebody's shaken. And I mean, he looks pretty shook, so I don't know what's afflicting him. If it actually is that, but I figured it was worth a try.
I'm gonna pass the storytelling stick to you here, and say that you have some tantamount control of this particular scene. I'd like for you to describe, give as much detail as you'd like here. You're channeling your first mercy here that we've really sort of seen, and you want to bring him out of this catatonic state. So, the story is yours. What does this look like when you channel your mercy into your lay on hands?
So instead of like more of like a red fire, it'd be like a white fire, since it's going to be like removing an effect, and it would just like, as soon as I touched him, kind of like spread from my hand onto him and like all over his body, and try to, and give him, if he lost a little HP from getting a razor dug in his head, then that would be recovered as well.
Sure.
And hopefully it'll wash over him and bring him to his senses and unshooketh him.
Now I gotta ask, this is a shaken removal as your mercy, right?
Yeah, it applies to any lay on hands I use.
Is there any sort of divine words that you feel like you would use from your god? What would this look like? What would this sound like narratively? Is there prayer that follows?
Torag, cleanse this man of any faltering that may have happened upon him, and allow him to come back to us with his mind and clear it.
Okay.
Little mini prayer.
Sure. To remove the weakness from the flesh. Yeah, I like that. Torag, wake this heathen.
Holy fire, cleanse him of his ailments.
I like that. Yeah, that's nice. You do this, and as you sort of like let this light flow from your hands over his body, it's a lot less of that glowing fire, like orangish yellow, and it now sort of like reverberates through his person, and you can, like, the three of you can actually see. This isn't some sort of strange role. You're already watching the scenario. You can actually see these almost whip-like black tendrils sort of mist away from his form that almost wrapped him in this like suit of extra shade. And then you finally see him blink multiple times before his head starts to lift up.
There you are, friend. Just relax. You're here with the people that aren't going to harm you.
Welcome back.
That worked.
I was just as surprised as you.
Oz doesn't like believing gods, so he's just like, you're just like saying a bunch of mumbo jumbo in his opinion.
It's all about the faith. You just have to have faith, Oz.
I don't know about that.
Here it is in front of you.
He raises a hand and he sort of like raises his thumb and pinky, and he gives you like the drinking motion.
Water. Just grab some water. I was collecting rainwater and boiling it anyway.
Did you give him boiling water?
No, not the boiling water, but since we're in the house, I'll get him clean water.
Okay.
It's now clean.
The fire runs through you, friend. Have my fire water. It's a bit intense. Yeah, sure.
Is there any whiskey or anything around?
I've been fermenting peaches in water, making ale.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's that I haven't been there long enough to do that.
He
kind of like rot.
he takes the water and he quickly downs this, draining the water skin before kind of like throwing it to the side, and then he throws his hand up to ask for help.
I grab it.
Sure.
Help him up.
You're already right there.
Pulls upward, and you can see that like he doesn't quite have his sea legs about him. He stands. He's a little wobbly, but after a moment, he just really stationarily plants his feet, and then he like looks to the three of you. His eyes kind of pan the room. I was supposed to kill her.
What?
It was making me kill her.
What was?
What's the last thing you remember?
Hold on. Just go over it slowly, whatever you can remember.
I just remember this rage. And there was a laugh I heard in the back of my head. And then I spun with my arm up to take a swing, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I looked in the mirror and I saw someone else. I didn't see my face. I saw someone there. So I swung out, but not at her. I hit the mirror. And then I felt my hand. My hand picked up glass. And it started cutting into the back of me. Why?
You got a nice little S there.
Why did I?
You did well. You were able to fight back.
Well, now do you believe us?
Where's everybody else at?
They're all at the town hall waiting for us. Should probably get there if you're feeling all right. If you don't think you can make it, then you can grab a bed in the other room, but Kendra's hurt as well. It wasn't you, though.
Oh, thank the gods. He kind of like pulls his hat down, pulls it down really tight. I'm gonna go. You said the town hall?
We're all
Are
heading
you sure
that
we
way.
should just let him go on his own?
We can all go together.
I
Yeah.
think that's a better idea.
If it's probably for
Better
the
in
best.
groups.
If something were to happen, if it were to come back over me, then knock me out, put me down. I don't care. I don't want to hurt anybody.
I don't want you to hurt anybody either.
What are we gonna do with her? I look at Kendra.
Actually, it does seem to be the case that when anyone's left alone, strange things happen. Maybe I could try to build a makeshift stretcher and we could carry her with us. I know that sounds ridiculous and she shouldn't be moved, but she might also not need to be left alone.
We can't leave her here alone. Yeah. Rye starts
I
looking
can
around the
build
room for
something.
like maybe like a broom handle or something that
Sure. You can
Just need
find things of the
Blanket
sort.
and two
Crafty.
poles.
I can assist.
Yeah, that's super useful actually. Go for it.
roll
Let's
my
see what you got. Do you want to craft for it? And what
Do
would you
it,
like to
Oz.
make?
21.
It's
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really good. Really good. It's not something that you wanted to do, that you have a lot of time for, right? Like you take a lot of care in the construction of your clothing. This is not something you feel like you have a lot of time for. So you do it with haste, but there's skill in it. It's inherent. And you make, what do you make here exactly?
Just kind of like finds like probably like one of those throw blankets and straps it to like one side's like a broom handle and like maybe the other's like a mop or something, and we just kind of like make like a little kind of cot type of thing.
Yeah, I'll bash
Carrion.
the ends off
Okay.
so that there's no, or unscrew them or whatever.
I don't do the
Whichever
bashing
I can
part.
do.
Sure.
Oz
'cause
just
it
does the
looks
sewing
stupid
part.
carrying a little mop. Like, oh, got this body and this mop head that I'm holding. Like,
Okay.
Gross.
All right. With some ease here, you guys are able to create a very simple, like rudimentary device to help carry her here. I mean, all else fails, you can always throw over shoulder if it came down to it. But Oz has been
the
quite
best.
handy. Oz has been quite handy
broken
with this.
ribs.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
like
So,
a fireman carrier. It's cool.
if you're
we
going to
should be able
help,
to easily carry her.
it's
the
not going
two
to be
of us.
hard. It's not going to be super hard, but it's raining. You're kind of like being very vigilant, watchful for what's going around. So just give me some strength checks if you're going to help carry.
Sure. Rye's gonna sit this one out.
What am I gonna just carry her myself? Just
That's
14.
perfect. You guys did just fine. So Eli and Ryan,
there we
15,
go.
14. You guys are
nice.
more than capable at this point of carrying her on this makeshift, and you're able to transport her to that point. Are you
I just
hoping?
want to roll to see how well it would work. Oz is totally helping.
It's like
They're all.
your point is like they're that way. We gotta. It's like air traffic controlling, but for the.
He's got like one hand like on it, and the other hand's like eating like a peach.
Probably.
It's like when like a little kid wants to help, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They see their dad carrying something, so they come and they, you know.
Yeah.
There
he's
could be
like-
somebody better to treat her too at the town hall if everybody's going there. So
Yeah, we're all heading
better
there.
than me.
Okay.
Maybe like a church person or something. I don't know.
All right. So to move to the town hall, this will be easy enough. You're not really gonna have a lot of like conversation or confrontation at this point. You will see that there are other people that are making their way to the town hall. You're not gonna be alone. People will pass by through the rain, and you'll see that they'll be like, "Oh my God, it's Kendra. What happened to Kendra?" And they see that the sheriff is there, and then they don't really say anything because they're just assuming, right, that the sheriff's got this under wraps. He's good. If the sheriff's here, he knows what's happening, and the bad guy's been apprehended, right? So it's not a problem.
And no one here knows that Eli was the one that almost killed her, right?
She was wounded before.
Okay.
The alternative was to leave the writhing zombie on her and not strike it. Like,
Okay, but
I'll take credit. I'm strong. I don't know my own strength, right? You know, like I saved her life, right?
I just
Is that not
noticed
enough
that
for
that you just omitted, the damage you did to both.
I may have not even realized it was me yet. When I come to the realization, maybe I'll cry.
Interesting
for you.
word, omitted.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you know all about that, don't you, bud?
I do, but only one of us was judging the other.
You've already seen that I've omitted things to the sheriff
Oh, that's
before,
good.
so that should come as no surprise.
Oh yeah, that is true, actually.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm selective with what I say. That's part of my religion, is speaking carefully.
Yeah, Kendrick was just attacked by Petros. I don't know what happened.
Kind of came
It's
out of
part of my
nowhere.
religion,
A
man.
hammer that
It
came
is.
down
It's
through
what-
his ribs.
It's one of my like codes is that I'm very aware of my thoughts. I think before I speak, basically.
So I'm gonna have
My
it to where
things.
the three of you arrive. Well, technically, the lot of you arrive to the town hall. Is if there's any interaction that we want to see, particularly between Temerity, Torvin, and Tripp, then we can. But if you guys are just okay letting them arrive on scene just after
Well,
clergy,
the
then that's
last
fine.
thing that happened with them was
Please don't murder him.
someone busted in and was like, Gib killed, it was you killed Father Grimborough.
Yes.
So I want to see what happens from that scene, while also Tripp is like holding a knife to Gibbs' back.
Don't wraith bang him, please.
God.
More like
He's got
Wraith fisting.
Weird tentacles. I don't
Wow.
know.
It's getting
Yeah, because
worse
he's got
somehow.
like a tentacle and he's like stabbing him with it.
Got a bunch
I mean,
of
you say worse. I'm not kink shaming.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's like, I
on.
hope you like hentai.
I'm gonna-
Goo, and hits him.
This might be a mistake, but I trust that each of you are entertainers in your own right. I actually have to step away for like 30 seconds. I'm going to leave it to you guys. You guys can have discourse with the chat here. I'll be right
All
back.
right, so you guys want to hear a
Hentai
joke
begins.
about a priest and
No!
police officer? in
Stop!
church?
How do you
No?
how do you mute another person?
Yeah, how do you mute another person?
You have
What's
to be the leader.
What's up,
Damn it.
everybody? What's up?
You
What's
gotta
going
arm
on
up
with
the
you
scene?
guys?
What happens?
Oh,
Let's,
how's it going, guys?
Everyone's night.
So who's the DM now? I give you all 5 luck
I-
rolls.
Look at me. I'm the DM now.
Oh no.
Don't fireball
Everyone,
me.
everyone
Look at me.
gets
Look at me.
unlimited
the DM
rerolls.
Please don't cast True Strike on yourself, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't think I don't know. Someone might have to convince her to cast ever again. Like she's
Just
got
come over
one
here.
more ribbon,
Crazy.
saving it for like
Rye is gonna try
Ribbon,
his
I forgot
hardest.
about that.
He's really gonna try his hardest to convince you that it wasn't your fault.
that'll be a sweet scene.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's gonna try.
Hey, guess what Peverin's gonna do?
Hope I'm there for it.
I'm not
Be
gonna
lucky
guess.
he's
Pepper doing
alive.
right now.
Yeah.
crying his soul out, and I'm on the outside hearing all of it. I'm like, oh my god, this kid doesn't shut up.
Yeah, that's
I've got
how.
one more lay on hands for your undead ass if you get out of hand, okay?
That's
That wasn't me.
That's how weakness leaves the body. That's what you tell him. All right, tell him to
Yeah.
cry it all out.
Well, you cry until you can cry no
Just
more.
terrible.
How is it gonna be?
He doesn't have a dad now, so you got to really be on him.
Like, none of us have dads.
None of us have-
I don't think any of us have. Who has a dad?
Like, we gotta throw a party for Pepper
I
now.
do have a mom and
induct-
dad, but I don't know if you would consider them moms and dads. 'cause,
Fair.
like,
Same.
They abandoned you,
I-
right?
He
Like,
didn't
at the-
abandon me.
well, they took you
Mine,
from.
mine did.
The hobgoblin life is when you're like 2 weeks old, you just go into the military. Like
Yeah, it's
you are
cultural.
Trip
yeah,
does.
there's like
He's
you don't really know your parents.
yeah. Trip does. He's like ghost mom, ghost dad. How do I make friends?
It's like you understand, but you don't, because like it's normal for you, but not for us. So you might be like, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal." And we're like,
Yeah, that's why when you handed the little kid a knife, Oz was like, "You should have got a
Hell
knife
yeah.
like a million years ago."
Yeah. We're rise from like that's the minimum. You at
Yeah.
least keep a
bottle
little.
and your knife and your pacifier.
Yeah. With
Right
your
by the-
pacifier, you get a knife.
Yeah, and the nightstand every night next to your book, and
Your lullaby is basically
your
just
reading
more
glasses. Yeah, and your knife. in
Brush your
pocket.
teeth. You sharp your dagger. You go to sleep.
Yeah, it's every day.
I don't know if I'm a fan of your parents. That's how that works.
That's how you stay alive.
I mean, I guess
Well-
I suppose.
I want a kitty now. Where's
know.
my kitties?
It's
I have
take-
two
Everyone's,
dragons.
everyone's getting their pet.
It's take your pet to your D&D game.
yeah. Like
Just about to
my
go
cat.
get
I have
mine.
like 4 cats here.
Ow, that's my ow.
The flavor,
Yum.
Mom. The flavor.
You won't let me eat socks anymore, so it's you.
Mom, I love it.
Mom, I just want to just nibble on your arm.
I'm working on it.
Perfect. So,
I would.
friends,
Yes.
Yeah.
please, I hope that I don't regret the 35 seconds I stepped away, but I'm going to trust that nothing horrible happened.
No,
No,
we
we're good.
really
They didn't
wasted
roll at
that.
all.
We wasted that opportunity on
Okay.
fairly wholesome discussion.
That's okay. Okay, good. So we're going to give you that scene. So you guys can role play out what exactly occurred here after Gib was named the murderer of Father Grimburrow.
Mhm.
It's a shame. I really like that guy too.
Gib was?
Gib
Yeah.
was Gib was pointed as the murderer of Father Grimburrow, yes.
Yeah, so Tripp, like, kicked Gibbs' legs down, has a dagger to the back. Temerity and Torvin are over there, and then some dude runs into that building and is like, "It was you!" and points
Oh no,
to
we're
Gibbs.
both in the
Right.
pews.
Does it look
I'm
like
sitting behind him.
to set the stage? Did he look like Professor whatever his name is, Harry Potter in Harry Potter when he came running in and just screamed about the troll in the dungeon?
Was it Quarrel? Professor Quarrel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's in my head. That's what he's done. Like ran up the aisle in the church. and just
Troll
screamed
in the dungeon.
It was you.
You know, sure, if that's the vision that you guys want to have, then that's the fucking vision that you have. I'm okay with it. So, the three of you, we have Tripp, we have Temerity, and Torvin. This man just rushed in shortly after Temerity grabbed the kids that I'm taking them to the temple. He's coming in. Father Grimburrow has been killed. And it was him! And points to Gib Heffiness.
As he says that, you notice like Tripp, like kind of like getting his suspicions riled. You see his like hand, his dagger hand starting to shake, like I would say almost uncontrollably. Like he's like super nervous. He's like, if this is one of the 5, then
Sure, give me a, let's see, give me, what's a better save here? Give me a will save.
Glad my will saves have gone up.
Ooh.
22, that's pretty good, Tripp.
It's really good, actually. You feel the anxiety of beginning to kind of just come into you, right? Like it's hitting you, and you feel that moment when like your eyes sort of widen and you're taking everything in. Your senses sort of sharpen, but you can hear everything, you feel everything, and you get that heartbeat, that doo 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 doo, and your nerves are starting to pick up. That's when you feel it, the hand starting to shake. You hear the sound of the dagger edge tip off the back of the pew multiple times. You keep it though. You regain some composition, some control. The pressure is still there. Temerity,
yeah.
Torvin.
Oh, God.
I look a little in shock.
I still have the kids, and I will. Is there any kind of corner or like is there anywhere? There's like a table with some pamphlets on it. Anything that I could like quickly like tip over and put these kids behind?
There is there's a podium, right? There's a podium. There is also like there's a table that is on
or even a
furthest
pew.
part. Yeah,
right?
sure.
Like,
You can hide them in a pew if you like.
all right. Well, then I will take one of the pews and kind of flip it and like motion for them to get under it. So it's more like kind of like a triangle where they have some protection.
Okay. The three of you, particularly Torvin and Temerity, as you're moving, Tripp, this is a little harder for you to see. You slowly, like, you can see the tension rising in the shoulders of Gibheffinus. And as it's beginning to build, right, as that tension is beginning to build, you overhear him. He speaks out loud. Get the pig sticker out of my back. I ain't gonna say it again.
Not till we affirm who you are. You will stay where you are.
Yeah.
He turns his head to look at the others to see if everyone else is okay with the 12-year-old accosting a grown man with a dagger.
What's your name, lad?
Are you asking the man?
Yes.
Gibheffinus. Been a citizen of this town for as long as I can care to remember.
Pull back. My apologies, and we need to know more. How did he die? What's going on?
The clergy, shaken, he moves in and he came to the temple of Pharasma and they were talking and they were moved off to the corner. And we weren't really watching, right? But we've always been told that when the Father speaks that we maintain our duties. And when we glanced back, well, Gib was leaving and Father Grimburrow was bleeding from the throat. His throat was slashed.
When he says that,
Swivels around.
yeah, I'm gonna take out like I'm. So I brought the kids over like close to a wall in the pew. So I'm assuming I'm about, I don't know, 15 feet, 20 feet away. So I don't know how big this room is. It's not. I don't think it's very wide.
Sure, it's not.
Right. So about that, I'm gonna take out my crossbow in one hand and my morning star in the other, because this is the guy who runs the temple in this town for my god, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that and just kind of like, I heard what Torvin said, and I'm gonna let Torvin do the talking, but I'm basically gonna give the dude a like, you can move at your own peril kind of like. I can get you by distance, or I can get you in the face.
And he sees that, and he raises a brow. What would I have to get from killing Father Grimburrow? I ain't got nothing to gain from that.
Did you chat to the man?
I ain't talked to him in weeks. The clergy chimes in. No, you were there tonight. We saw you. I don't know what he's talking about. Wasn't there. Was at my place, smoking my pipe all night. That's before I saw my... It kind of dies down. Before I saw my wife. And she had... You kind of get the sense that he's talking about one of the undead.
Can I cast sense motive?
Yes. You can use the skill. You can use skill.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I use the skill? Not
yes,
cast.
Yes, of course.
Use
of course.
the
I was
skill.
waiting for that to be defined. Thank you so much.
You're 1,000,000% certain that he is being completely honest with you.
Okay. I'll lower the morning star, but I'll keep the crossbow up.
The door opens a little further and more people are starting to enter into the church. They realize the tension in the room, and they sort of just stay to the back. The crossbow is drawn. Gib has a knife in his back. And Gib is raising his voice. Not out of, like, anger, but out of the fear that he's about to get stabbed. Any more words said?
I look towards, well, is it Pathfinder or Tripp at the moment? And just nod. And mention for him to move away. I won't say it though.
I guess I'll try to hide back. I guess move the dagger away subtly enough where he doesn't know if I'm still there or not, and I guess disengage him like that. So I guess stealth out if that's possible, or stealth away from him.
That's gonna be a little tricky. You have a path left and right, or you can basically leap over the pew itself.
No, because I wouldn't want the wood to creak. So I'd probably disengage. Depending on where he looked originally, I'd disengage the opposite.
The opposite
way.
direction.
So,
You got it. Sure. This is gonna be relatively easy for you. You disengage quickly. So you move. It's that sort of like awkward little like side hobble through the pew itself as you try to not kind of knock into the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Before you see the man sort of stand up, cross his arms, and he starts walking away. He walks away to the front of, more or less to the back of the building, where the stage is at. I wanna, the three of you, give me a perception, please. I like this. I'd like to see this. This is difficult, for what it's worth. Okay, Torvin and Tripp. I didn't expect you guys to roll that high, but very good. Torvin and Tripp. You can see as he walks, like as he stands to sort of like walk out of the pew itself, and he moves upward to the steps of the stage. Before he crosses his arms, you note that there is a spot of blood on his shirt. And you didn't really notice that previously, but you weren't really looking at the guy super seriously.
Don't move. Turn around.
He turns, still kind of like got arms up, kind of crossed.
Do you see it? And he kind of points to his shirt where the blood is at.
He glances down. He kind of like touches the blood. He looks back up to you. I was attacked. I said that. Is it wrong to bleed?
Is it just a couple of drops, or is it like there's something bleeding through from him?
It just looks like there's just a couple of spots of blood. And then he pauses for a moment. He squints his eyes. Why am I being talked down to like I'm a child by a child? Where's your father at?
If you like, I could speak. We're trying to solve. Look, we've had so much hell in this tune.
We all have. It's all been terrible.
Let's work with it and solve it, shall we?
He just kind of he throws his hand up and he turns back around and just starts walking back up to the stage, just kind of minding his own business. It's at this point that you see the arrival of more people of the town and your comrades. They seem to be carrying what looks like the body, either the resting body or the completely unconscious body of Kendra Lorimore. The sheriff is in first, and he's very, very wobbly. He sort of leans to the pews, tries to stay to a wall if he can, and he starts talking to a few of the people there. You notice that it starts, this place begins to fill up.
I move over towards Kendra.
When we arrive, is there still a knife to give? Or?
No, Gib is no longer under knife at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find a place to put her down, see what's going on.
Oswald just walk away from where he's holding the thing because he's really not helping, and go over to the others.
Okay.
I assume that Ryan and I will put her down.
Yeah, where would you like to put her down at? I'm curious.
I don't know, right? You want to do like a pew where we can see her, like on a long ways on a pew, so she's still resting on some padding.
Yeah, just wherever looks comfortable and
So she's better than the floor, right?
quick. Yeah.
Does everybody gather back together
maybe
then?
wooden.
Yeah, Oz will, while they're putting her over there, Oz will walk over to the rest of them, kind of go over to Temerity and be like, "You all right?" Because she's kind of like standing there with her bow out, right?
Oh yeah, she's full on Mama Bear at this point.
Yeah. So Oz will come over there and be like, "You all right there?"
Father
And he's
Lor-
looking at where she's pointing her weapon.
Father Lorimier is dead, and she'll point with her tail because she's just trying to keep her focus. Says
What
that
happened to him?
he's
You
the,
didn't-
and I'll point at the priest. The priest says that this man did it. He says he
Oh.
doesn't remember.
Grimburrow's sitting on the stage, like that half sit where your ass is on like the lip of it and just kind of putting weight on it, but his arms are like
mean
up, and he's
Gibbous, not Grimborough.
correct. It's Grimburrow, Father Grimburrow.
Oh,
No, Father Grimburrow was killed. Gib is sitting up.
Yeah.
Did I say Grimburrow?
yeah, you did.
Forgive me. That's
why I
my
asked.
apologies. My apologies.
It's like, what?
Wait, Father Grimburrow is dead too?
Yeah, I
I-
suppose that's what she said.
This priest came in while we were assembling here for a meeting and accused him of it, but he says he has no knowledge.
Well, that seems to line up with everything else. Probably another possession.
What? Everything else?
All right, everything
Everyone-
else.
Being
He's been
possessed by people.
he's been accused of murdering Father
Murders?
Grimburrow. Then why is he not shackled?
He says he doesn't.
Are there not laws in this town? Is there not a jail cell that we can hold him till trial?
He proclaims
Sheriff?
his innocence, and I don't know. He seems to be telling the truth, but regardless, you're not wrong. Until we figure out what's happened.
I think we know what happened, though.
I think that's for an actual system of law to decide whether it's whatever rules they're governed by. I don't think
the
he's
dead that are
innocent
coming
or
back to
guilty.
possess people have any laws that they're abiding by.
Do you think he was possessed? Wait. Eli, how's your eye feeling?
Oh no.
Thought we weren't going to talk about that.
Well, if he was possessed or is possessed right now, you
It's fine.
seem to be the only one who's been able to see that. I don't think we have the pieces of the planchette any
I
longer.
don't think we want to use that or talk about it. Last time I don't know. I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know how to stop it. You had to stop it.
Just discussing the inevitability of using or trying to utilize this eye again sends that burning sensation up around the orbital socket of your eye.
We don't have time for due process.
That's not. Regardless, whether it was a possession, whether he's innocent or not, he has been accused of murder. And where I come from, you are held until you are proven innocent or guilty in those regards.
I look at Eli and Rye gets loud. Look around you. Look. You think we have time for that kind of nonsense?
There's always time.
No, there isn't. These people
There's-
are dying.
And more could die if he isn't at least restrained or held.
More people are coming through at this point. You notice
How
the
many
town hall is
people are
beginning to
around
fill up.
us?
Right now, probably about 35, 40 people, more slowly filtering in. Everybody's sort of like huddled up. Some of them have blankets or shawls wrapped around them. You can see that most of them are still like wiping sleep from their eyes. Those that were asleep have no idea about the attacks in the town.
How about you don't listen to me then, Rye? Let's ask the sheriff. What's protocol when somebody's fingered as a murderer? Do we just let them run around town free?
I think protocol might be thrown out the window right now. We really have to consider
Alright.
what's about to happen.
Well, there you go. He's the law in this town, and that is what I will abide by.
He was named the murderer, right?
That's what they're telling me.
He's here right now. And I've wrestled with
He's
Gib a
here
couple
right
of
now.
times. He's not that hard to deal with. He's wily in his age, but he's not that hard to deal with.
No, I'm not saying I believe him or not. I'm just trying to figure out the best course of action and how to be respectful to these people and how to keep everybody as safe as possible.
Oh, I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm waiting to find out what Vashian and the others have to say.
Is Vashian back? Like, does this look like the...
He's not back yet, but the other town councilman is back, or he is here at this point. He seems to be moving sort of up to the front pews, and he keeps kind of glancing around, waiting for either Vashian or someone else to arrive.
I'm looking around and I'm trying to see if I can find Gore. What's his name again?
Gorovan.
Gorovan, yes. Is he there?
Gorovan is not here.
Interesting. I'm gonna actually like I'm gonna go outside and take a look around, see if I see Gorovan coming, like on his way.
Sure.
All right, when he leaves, I'm gonna lean into Oz and I'm gonna whisper to Oz. I'm gonna say, "Hey Oz, I know you and Rye, you guys seem pretty close. He's not one to listen to me. He doesn't like me, which he's got reason for that. But I think right now keeping these people from panicking might be the best. And if we're arguing, it's gonna look like we don't have it together, and that could make the rest of the people nervous. And when there's this much panic, it could cause chaos. So if you could just try to keep him calm and just try to keep him from butting heads too much with us, I'd appreciate it." That was a long whisper, but
I'll see what I can do, but
you're the only one he'll listen to, from what I've seen. And maybe Temerity.
I think he kind of listens to himself. That's what I like about him.
That's all fair and all. I'm just, I just think that, I don't know. I think enough people died today.
I agree with that one. But I don't think everyone coming together in this building's gonna help.
Damn, I should have whispered to Temerity. Out of character. Because Oz is like, chaos, let them fight. Like, let's set up a blood ring.
Tripp would probably shimmy over to Torvin still. I don't think we should be here. This doesn't feel right.
Tripp and Oz are on the same page.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around and see what's going on and look at the accused face and the priest, and they're all kind of in their own place, and I'll come up to where Torvin and Tripp are. I assume everybody's in like a loose area close enough to talk to.
Sure.
I think everybody's like milling in their groups.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so we're like circling up, then we're circled up. At this
Yeah,
point?
I think so. These people need to do their own thing. We know what we have to do. It's not here.
I agree. You're talking
We
about
need to
going
go.
Harrowstone, right?
While they're all here together, they have safety in numbers. We should
I don't know
go.
about that.
Well, more
I don't know.
safety than they had at their homes.
Or they're an easy target.
Right. But I feel as if we go to Harrowstone, perhaps we become the target and we have a better chance of figuring out what's going on.
I mean, I'm with you, but I'm exhausted. I need at least a night's rest before I can even. I don't even know how effective I would even be right now.
Yeah. Well,
if we left right now.
I don't think there's any Starbucks. So let's go. Is there Starbucks? Can I roll for Starbucks?
You know what? You can try.
I would love a Starbucks right now. I think that's an excellent idea.
I actually want to have Nerval go get me Starbucks.
I can't have coffee.
I'll have two
A
for you. Oh, I drink
medieval
tea.
Starbucks, like a tavern. Is there a tavern nearby?
Right.
There was.
Oh, wow! Wild! Wow! The shade is admirable.
Yeah, well, you'd have your
Just tell me
Starbucks if
truth.
you hadn't blown it up.
Oh,
Tripp
that's
prefers
true.
coffee
All right.
bean over Starbucks.
Oh my God.
have any
So
coffee in like 2
I agree.
weeks.
We should rest because I don't think what's ahead of us will give us any. So we should go and
I'll fight to my last breath, but I feel like we should give it our best shot. And I fully rested.
I don't disagree.
Also, Torvin, can you fill me in on what happened? I was at the house and I heard some things from Oz and Rye that were very disturbing.
We should go to bed.
Is
Oz is gonna
Zokar really
shuffle
dead?
Aye,
behind.
lad, he is.
Eli and be like,
Wait, you're doing that to me?
I'm still outside, right? Like I'm.
Yeah,
Oz
Rye
is
walked
shuffling behind
outside.
Eli and motioning to Torvin, like, and then pointing at.
Gotta give him a
Temerity.
chance. I gotta give him a chance. Do you give me a sleight of hand, and then Eli, give me a perception.
Dude, Oz is such
I'm not
a
very
pro.
good at this, so. 14.
It's okay, because Eli's not super great at perception. Remember, you have luck rerolls.
I
I
don't
mean,
think the probability of me rolling better is gonna happen. That's a pretty good roll for.
Yeah,
my
that's
sleight
not
of hand.
bad. That's not bad. So do you stick with it? And what is
Yeah, I stick
what
with
does it look like? Are you just like,
Oz is like, and pointing at Temerity and being like, and then when he
hear
notices
that
that,
bucket rattling around, I'm like, what? Why did Oz just move? It's like,
Oz
okay, now I
scratches-
definitely need to know
scratches underneath
some
his
more details.
sorcerer hat.
Yeah, I was told that his dead wife came back and murdered him.
Oz nods.
Would I have seen the fire on the way to the town hall, or the extinguished, the wrecked
Yeah.
tavern?
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
And I don't
There's
understand
also
how she could
a
have taken
storm
out that
going
entire
on.
tavern.
It's just raining in that one spot.
I'm sure
It's
it wasn't
fine.
me.
Did she have some powerful magic she was wielding, or
Did you? The wasn't me bit. Was that actually said?
I said that out loud.
Okay.
That part.
What is Temerity doing in this entire conversation? Are you just like standing there proudly, or are you slowly slinking into that reclusive shell-like state of like, no?
I'm kind of putting my crossbow away and making sure my morning star is good, and like looking towards the door like, hey, are we going to bed?
Yeah, I had a bad feeling about those two. They're thick as thieves. Oz,
What?
don't you play coy. I saw you trying to sneak behind me and tell them not to tell me something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am sorry. I don't speak goblin sign thingy. I don't know what you're saying.
No one does.
Tripp,
No
you're
one in
right
their
there.
mind.
You're right there, and you witnessed the experience yourself.
Well, could someone fill me the hell in on what happened? Zokar was our friend. He helped us a lot. He gave us free meals.
I come.
They were delicious.
Tripp, you like see him like turn around, like he like hearing them kind of like go back and forth, and then Eli kind of chiming in with what happened to Zokar. He turns around and like just, it's not even his voice, it's Peverin's, and he turns around and says he was murdered due to negligence. And then like you see like Tripp kind of like regain like himself back and goes, "What just happened?"
There's a
Oz just
noticeable
kind of,
voice
like,
shift.
Shifty looks around and then turns.
Like it's not Tripp's voice, like Peverin like possessed Tripp, like an actual like swap, like a force swap happened.
Friday bullshit.
I
We'll
don't
let
like
that
the
hang there.
silence.
We're gonna let that hang there for just a second as the camera pulls outside of the town hall.
Motherfuckers.
Dipping into the rain. Here we see Rye exiting the establishment, kind of dodging out of the way of people. The rain is coming down. You said you just wanted to wait outside. There's no eaves. There's no sort of awning to sort of provide you any cover here from the rain. Do you move to the gazebo?
No. I love the rain.
Okay.
I like running in the rain. I like being in the rain.
You got it.
For somebody who's been burnt, the rain is awesome.
Got it. No problem. then I will give you that moderate rank. You wait outside in the mess. The sounds of the people talking inside are sort of immediately drowned out, right? But that tension never quite leaves as you wait for Gorovin. I did it again. I don't know why every time I click on Zoom, it blows everybody up. It's better now. So, you're waiting, hoping to see any sight of this man. And the only sight that you see, short of people coming here, you never see quite that like Slender Man-like figure, right? He was sort of obscenely tall for a regular individual, but he was very thin. And you're never quite given that reward of seeing this individual again. But you do find someone. Something even. Someone that you met very, very early on in the town. Four-legged friend makes his way from the gazebo. Walks over to you, and he puts his body into your side. Sits down promptly on your foot, and he waits with you. You just hear the occasional lapse of water as it runs down his fur. It's Hap.
I look down at him, and I just say, turns out you were the most innocent one in this whole town.
Uncannily enough, his head sort of turns up, and then gives you that look as it glances back at you. And he glances back forward. And then you hear something internal to yourself. Nobody else seems to acknowledge this. Well, we're all only a little guilty.
Fucking knew it.
Where's my keyboard?
You finished it when you had the chance, man.
Kill him, Rye.
Kill him, right? Kill him, right? Kill him! Oh, now it's kill him, right? Oh, now.
He says, "Hey guys, what's up?"
JK.
Out of my keyboard.
Hurry.
Rye looks down at the dog and looks back up, just keeps staring forward and just says, now I know I'm going fucking crazy.
Not crazy. No. You are getting wet.
Okay, I look back down again. Like the first time I was just like, oh man, listen, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm just nuts. Now I'm actually thinking the dog might be actually talking to me.
He glances back up to you for a moment, and then he lays down. Well, if you're going to wait here, I will too. Who are we waiting on?
I don't even know what to say to this dog. Powerful man, or at least I think.
Powerful man?
Do you know Gorovin?
Groban. I don't know no Groban.
What do you know?
I watch a lot of people. They give me food.
Like who?
Mostly kids. Mostly. The fat man with the wolf balls, he called him. He was nice to me. He glances up. It's a shame you guys killed him.
Little liberal with the use of you guys, but...
Well, it wasn't a dog.
Yeah, you would have just ate him.
Oh, no. I wouldn't do that.
Don't lie to me.
I wouldn't
I've
do
seen
what
it.
you would do to me. That would make me less than that. And I'm more
Yeah.
than what you think.
Oh yeah, how so?
Well, I'm a dog. Nose knows. He snits. No, pfft.
I mean, not the obvious fact that I'm having a conversation with a dog. And I actually think it's real.
Does that make you crazy or me crazy?
I've never been sane.
Well, you've never been sane? I'm always hungry.
I reach. Do I still got, I assume I have my like stuff on me, right?
Yeah.
I
I'm
got a
assuming
little
that you do.
jerky.
Yeah, sure.
I pull out my bag. I start going through it. Pull out some jerky. Give it to him. Offer it.
You see the nose kind of like while up, the lips kind of furl over as he's trying to smell it. He pauses for a minute, and the eyes kind of hit you. You're not going to try to choke me again, are you?
Nah, no hard feelings.
Okay. And he like quickly grabs the food from you.
I get kind of a little evil smile. Enjoy. And I stand up.
You hear the as he's just like devouring it, whatever it is. He has no immediate like way of determining what it is. Like, and if you're gonna hit me with it was dog jerky all along. The dog doesn't even care. He's just happy.
No, it's poisoned.
Oh, even better.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Even better.
I'm joking. No, I was gonna make a joke, but you ruined it. So no, I just give him the jerky.
Chat was thinking
It's just a
what I
nice
was
jerky.
thinking. I thought you were gonna like take out the jerky. You're like, I take out jerky. I thought you were gonna eat it.
Right.
Oh, I was just then
I thought you were gonna
eat it.
like offer it to him and just eat it yourself.
No, I give it to him. It's nothing menacing. I actually give it to him and just tell him, hey, no hard feelings about, but
Trying to choke you out earlier.
Why are
Yeah,
you so
sure.
worried? I can smell it on you. Even through the rain.
Are things normal here for a dog?
No. Things are never normal.
How are they different?
Well, I see people that aren't there. Or at least that others can't see.
Right, shakes his head, or nods his head. Yeah, a lot of that's been going around. Anyone near me right now?
Oh, lots. There's so many. They move so we can stand here, though.
That is a little unnerving, but I think Rye sort of already knew that a little bit because of the visions that we had earlier, or at least was described to him.
Oh, you believe me now?
I don't know why, but they're coming to the building. So many of them are moving.
And you can see this.
I can smell them, too.
What do they smell like?
Like they want something. Want something real bad. Like desperate.
What could they want?
I don't know. They keep following that boy, though. But they like you, too. Some of them have been following, and more keep following, since you've been in town. And your friends, too. By the way, did you know that you smelled like the shorter one? The one that has all the armor? Not so much anymore.
Yeah, I think we have common friends. So, how is this possible?
I don't know. You're talking to a dog. I'm just a dog. None of the others can hear me, though. I don't know why.
So Rye is suddenly in a Wilfred situation.
Sure.
I'm like Elijah Wood. I'm literally psycho. My character's psychotic. Oh, Rye is like trying to roll with the punches but he's definitely sort of starting to get freaked out and really kind of realizing what is happening here. But it's sort of a little amusing to him.
Sure,
too.
sure.
You
Probably the
know?
most neutral or like least threatening experience that you've had thus far in the town.
Yeah. It's probably the friendliest thing. So, what do you think we should do?
I don't know. You should probably run. I would run, but my legs hurt.
What's wrong with your legs?
Don't work the way they used to.
How long you been here?
I don't know. Seen a lot of people come, seen a lot of people go. I remember when older man, and he kind of like boots his nose up, and he's looking through the rain, and he looks onward for a while, right? He seems to be watching, and then you see Vashian, Hearthmont, come through. Remember when he was a boy? Vashian's in his 50s.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Right at that, like, since he was a boy. Him?
Yeah, he's always been fat. He would give me snacks.
Did you ever have an owner?
I don't know. I don't remember. Everybody owns Hap when Hap stays here. I get pets and they say they love me. I don't know what that means, but they give me food. And they bring me blankets.
Man, you threw me off with the dog being the dog being here for like 50 fucking years. Now, okay, should I guess I should ask, you know, in the world of Pathfinder, are there certain breeds of dogs that live long that would be normal?
Only mage bred animals. Only mage bred animals can live longer than they're desired. But most of them
somehow magically enchanted, or
sure.
Okay.
If they've been magically touched or bred to be that way, then yes. So like mage bred horses can run at like twice the speed of the fastest horses, and that's just because they were quite literally bred with magic.
Okay, all right. So this is under normal human, like Earth dogs. He should live 15 years ish.
Yo, yeah.
Okay. Weird. I look back down at him and I just kind of say, I think I should catch up with my friends.
Okay. Thanks for the food. He stands and he starts to kind of like trot off. Not with a run, just a happy little trot back to the...
Before he starts like trotting, I'm going to like go, hey. I'm like, call him back.
He stops and kind of turns. He's like maybe 7 or 8 feet away from you.
Yeah, I motion him over.
Okay, yeah, he comes back.
Okay. I lean down and I put my hand on the top of his head and I pat and I say, good boy.
Oh, thank you.
And then I go back inside.
Sure, he then turns. At this point, you kind of see like the tails sort of pick up. And it's here, like, when he tells you these details, right, about how long he's been around, you kind of get that sense of the age. But there is something really bizarre about it because he sort of looks like a bunch of different dogs. He doesn't look like one bred, right? Like the front half of his body has quite a bit longer hair than the back half, which sort of looks like there might be some burn marks to it, or it might be that like the hair was just shaved off for some reason. But he looks like, because of the way that the water's come down over his body, he looks like a bunch of different dogs that have just been kind of hamstrung together.
Yeah. Is Hap undead? Is he a dead amalgamation, abomination dog that was raised up by these necromancing town people?
It's like you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, in Rye's head, he's not sure how to interpret this.
Sure.
And one fire at a time.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that.
Like, he just kind of like, I mean, who would he tell? What would he say? It's just kind of something to know, I guess, and keep in his pocket.
You see, the councilman, Bastion Hearthmont, is walking up. He sees you sort of waiting in the rain, and he asks you, seeing Hap, are you coming inside, or are you staying with Hap?
Actually, this is a good time then. How long's this dog been in town?
Oh, Hap? He's been around for some time, but and he kind of like covers up the rain at this point. It's sort of like running down his face. Well, I believe that he's been here for probably 15 or so years. He's an old dog, yes, but we think that this is a different dog. Comes through. The first Hap, when I was a boy, had puppies. And this is one of his offspring, or her offspring, whatever it is. And now he's staying here. The others, well, the Wyld used to be a bit more wild. And we weren't sure what to name him.
Can I sense motive?
Yes. We weren't really sure what to name him, so we named him after the warden's hound. The warden had a hound on property, went by Hap. It's just sort of stuck. It feels authentic. He's honestly, he thinks that it hasn't crossed his mind that this is the same dog. Remember, Vashian was a war veteran as well, so he was gone. He's gone for a while.
Oh, crap. At that, I just kind of look at the dog. I look back at him. Let's go inside.
He ushers you in forward, and then he will start to pull the door before you see a couple more people sort of like come inside of the building at this point. You regather. The doors are not pulled very tightly closed, but you can definitely tell that it's a lot less inviting with the doors closed. And this place is filled up. You're looking at like in the ballpark of about 65 people. You're not really sure how many people are in the town, but it's a rather large amount that are here at the moment. And they've started shifting into pods. They're developing their cliques, those that are the most comfortable with each other. You see some of the older squad, you're looking at like people that are in their 60s and 70s, the ones that are like, you're talking like the geriatric side of the audience, are huddled together, and they've just got this like real nasty face on them. Like they've been woke up in the middle of the night. What's going on? Where the storm came out of nowhere? What happened to the laughing demon? People are really just starting to talk, and they don't know what is happening. You see your comrades have gathered in the corner. When you glance over, at some point in your conversation, you hear this whipping sound as you glance to the side. And Hap actually came into the building, and he's shaken himself dry, or at least a lot less dripping. And he's moved to the rear corner of the building where there is a single lit sconce.
I'm eyeing him. I'm like, I just got one eye.
Okay.
So none of you are going to really tell me what happened?
Do I hear that?
Can't trust any of you?
As you're walking back in, you hear Eli. He's probably got like an arm up over his chest or like under an arm. Like, so none of you are really going to tell me what happened? And
Oz
silence.
kind of looks at Temerity and then turns around to look back at like the front of the town hall.
You're being awfully quiet, Temerity. I figured you'd have something to say about it.
I have a lot to say about it, but nothing I want to talk
Please
about
enlighten
now.
me. He was my friend too, you know.
He was all of our friends.
Exactly.
Just remember that. It was.
I'm not going to forget that.
I think we should focus on the task at hand, and I promise I'll tell you everything. And I look at Oz like, and I mean everything, right? Like
It's a matter of trust at this point. If I can't trust you, I can't work with you.
You can trust me.
Eli, one step. We need to do this one step.
The crowd around you is starting to develop a bit more boisterously so in motion. They're still sitting. They've mostly gathered to the pews. Some people are sort of standing the walls. There's not enough pew spots for everyone to sit down comfortably. Plus, people like their space. You see that Gib is still mounted to the front of this particular area. He's staying pretty much tucked in a corner as much as he can. The three council people, Vashin Hearthmond and his comrades, have gathered to the stage. This is where I'm actually going to give you guys a map, okay? You're going to get a map, so I'm going to drag you over here to Town Hall. You'll see your characters on the bottom of the screen. You can move them wherever you would like.
You just see a black.
Okay, let me put you inside. Bam. How about that?
Still see a black.
Still a black screen.
Still a black screen. Okay.
There's a black box.
When I zoom out, it's now
Not
like a
quite
square.
Okay, bizarre. Let me adjust that. You guys should see this with proper lighting. I sat through this for like an hour.
Oh no. Even with a refresh, I don't stay up.
Oh, there it is. Dynamic lighting. Off. Save settings. How about now?
Viola.
Okay. Now you can shift yourself wherever you'd like. Yes.
I still cannot see it.
That's a you problem.
That's correct. You probably won't see that.
I don't have a token though. Or I guess
You
I'm
do.
expert.
Yes, the five of you do. Yes. I didn't have one because I wasn't intending on our friend here to be a thing.
Not
So
me.
let me search. Yeah, you're there. You're in there.
I think we're all
Wait,
grouped
is
up
that
together,
me?
right?
Or is that? Oh, that's me. Okay.
I think we're like
Oh, yeah.
grouped up in a corner.
Where's
the dude? Gib?
Gibbs over here.
I get to do this. There we go.
That's so cute.
Okay.
Aw, where's Gib?
That's you, friend.
Here?
Gib is in the upper left. Go further up into the tucked in the
Right,
corner.
this
He is
one?
right there. That's Gib.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
How do I rotate?
Controlled by Tripp. Save settings. All right, Tripp.
I'm
There we
gonna.
go.
I'm gonna sit on this bench because I'm not happy.
Where are you? Are you in the purple? Yes.
He's on this bench up here.
I don't know
Okay.
what color I am. I'm so bad with colors.
It's red. You got like a red shield.
Okay.
Well, then I'm gonna be like over here because I was talking to you.
Yeah, we were all grouped up. Who's that?
Yeah, I walked away.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
assuming we were in this
Because,
back corner.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
figured
that's where
everybody
I
was
was-
sort
yeah.
of chilling in the back corner.
If you walked away, then I'm not gonna follow you.
This is my favorite part. Everybody's like, ooh, buttons and things. I get to click
Second.
and draw.
I want to walk by Gib because especially if like Vashin's walking in and Rye and everybody's.
Oz
It
will
looks,
stay
if somebody
where,
looks like they're gonna speak or something.
Sure.
Where's
Oz
Torvin
will
at?
stay near Rye. Where's Rye planning to
Look
go?
for the guy with the bow.
Rye, where are you planning on staying?
I'm just right. I'm just kind of right back here next to the Wraith. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Eli has sort of stepped away. He wants to go hang out by Gib.
I'll go sit on the bench next to him or
Sure.
where he's standing.
Gib's minding his own business. He's not really doing a lot here. The conversation is still starting to boisterously pick up in this room before finally you hear the Councilman Hearthmond. Everyone, please, silence, silence, bring it down, bring it down. We have much to discuss in a short window to do so. Silence, everyone, bring it down. And the conversation starts to come to a whisper. You've been gathered here to discuss some of the events that are occurring in our town around us currently. There were multiple attacks this evening on Ravengrow. Not from Not from an outsider, but from our own Restlands. You hear that? Oh, no. What? No, the Restlands, what? Someone chimes in. What would attack us from the Restlands? I believe that we were attacked by our own forgotten, our lost, our family. Well, how is it possible? The rune wards were put up by the temple were supposed to protect our dead from necromancy. What could have happened? We do not know at this time. We are not privy as to what's exactly occurred, but many of them have been dispatched. Some with quite a bit of force. And while we don't have an incredible amount of proof as to what might be occurring in our town, we know that something is linked directly to Harrowstone. The man's eyes kind of fall over the crowd, looking to each of you. Slowly but surely, he hits each of the adventurers, first glancing at Eli at the front, and then the lot in the back, Temerity, who seems to have remotely secluded herself off.
I make sure my hood's, like, not meeting his gaze.
I'm sure most of you had seen that the Laughing Demon was destroyed. I've been alerted that we have lost many of our own in this town. The Simbards on the outskirts, the children, all that remain of the family. Zokar of the Laughing Demon is also brought down. Even Kendra was attacked this evening by the recently deceased Petros Lormor. Now we cannot deny that something is occurring here. Something tied and tethered quickly, closely to Harrowstone. We've all had the visions. We've all seen things happening around us. Perception, please, from everyone.
Sure. Damn, Oz.
Nope.
Oz kills it. Yeah, every time. Oz, you notice, and it's something incredibly faint at first, but you're certain you noticed that the sconce is flickered. Fire doesn't really heavily flicker like this. This actually seems to raise in volume of flame and then come back down, but none of the others do.
Oz tugs at Rye's leg and then kind of like leans in and then points and is like subtly points and is like,
Fire's flickering. Not in the way it's supposed to. I think something bad's about to happen.
Now, with the interest of saving the rest of those around us, our friends, our family, any kin we may have in the future, we have to come to an agreement as to what we may do and execute going forward. We're open to ideas. And there's a pause.
When Rye gets that information from Oz, he looks down at him and kind of starts watching. I just kind of look back up and start watching the sconces. Do they do it again?
How long will you watch?
As he continues to talk till he stopped.
Sure. They never seem to flicker, but you do hear something.
What do I hear?
Oh boy. We're not alone. The voice of Hap from the rear corner of the room.
oh yeah.
Can smell him. Can smell him.
Okay, everything. Okay, between listen, if Oz is like some shit's about to go down, and then the dog is all like, Rye doesn't fucking need to be, told twice. I look over at Temerity. What's Temerity doing right now?
Like in a corner, kind of not happy about this conversation.
I give Oz a look, and then I walk past Oz, to where Hap is in the corner, and I'm trying to look casual.
As you begin to take your first few steps, nobody else has moved. It has been a sea of just dead motion. You move first, and then you hear him. Bastion. Rye, do you have some ideas? Would you like to come forward and tell us what you might have? You've seen some things in the town. You know the kind of pressure we're under. You hear the people muttering, yeah, that's the new guy. He's the one that encountered Gib on Restlands Road. Yeah, no. Yeah. Someone chimes in, yeah. You're an adventurer, right? You can you fix this? We'll pay you.
I speak up as loud as I can, as loud as my burnt esophagus will let me. Hey, we may be able to help you, but I don't speak for the group. And I point up at Eli. He's the one with the fancy words.
Then you, Eli, I believe you... Do you have services that you may render to us? Will you help us? He's like crossing fingers at this point, like reaching, like really drawing at straws here for any kind of aid.
As that's happening, I'm gonna continue going to as soon as the focus is all like shit, the whole room I assume looks over at Eli.
The vision seems to shift over, and you're still walking to happen as you do. That's when you notice the sconce by him. It flickers 2 times, taking on almost more air, engulfing air around it. You see sputters of flame sort of like lick up, as if it's almost trying to cherry off and carry into the wind. But there's no wind in here.
Eli will smile, but it's a fake smile. And anyone in the group that's been with him can probably tell that. And he'll say, yeah, I may be great with fancy words, but I don't know if it's time for that. If you're looking for a plan, he's the smart one. And he'll point at Oz. Because Eli's sick of the group's bullshit. Y'all can figure your own plan out.
That's amazing.
He points at Oz, and Oz like peeks over the puke, and then he kind of shuffles his way over to the like, what is it called? The middle of the aisle. And then he'll like waddle his way up to the front. I can't turn my character around because like this thing is in a weird spot. But he turns around and he looks at the people.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can do that for you.
Yes. I may regret this.
And Oz kind of looks at everybody and is like,
I don't know about that, but I do think we need to have a plan.
Okay, real quick. I hate to interrupt. Okay, but I did want to sort of do something. While this is happening, I want to be walking back behind the pews here.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Pevrin at?
Where you see him, where the shade is.
Oh, there. Oh, sorry. There was a big dice in the way.
Yep, no problem.
I'm gonna try to get. Okay, so I have to walk past Torvin to go back to Pevrin. I'm gonna tap Torvin and give him a look, and I'm gonna try to signal to Temerity as well, and I'm gonna try to get Pevrin outside. I'm gonna like signal to them and be like, let's step out for a second while Oz is doing what Oz is doing.
So it's you and Pevrin. Are you tapping Torvin as well?
Yes, I'm tapping Torvin. Like as I'm moving from, because I'm like right here.
Okay.
Right? Sorry, I'm not just having this. I'm like walking across. I'm tapping him. I'm grabbing Pevrin, not grabbing him, but like signaling to Tripp to step outside and Temerity.
As you're signaling them, you kind of tap Tripp on the shoulder and you get Torvin as well. And as you move to the door so you can start kind of leaving, allowing Oz to take the floor, right? And gaining everybody's attention. Mm-hmm. You hear this like almost hissing noise of air sort of sucking out, like almost like a balloon is sort of bleeding out air. This, and then the door slams closed, sucks tightly closed.
That's
I
what I was
notice
afraid
that?
of. Sorry, go
Does
ahead.
everyone
Neil.
hear that door,
Do I
or is it
notice
just
that?
the people that are close to it?
Well, at this point, they
Should
turn
I roll
and
perception?
they see that Rye is next to the door. They turn, they look, the door is closed, and Rye's right in front of it.
I was worried about that. Something's not right. And I look over at Torvin. I think we're being locked in.
Look for up high. I look for windows. I look for. Is there anything in the building?
No. This town hall was designed as a very short use option, and it was used for storage. It was the one place that was safe from weathering, so they kept a lot of paperwork storage here.
I'm gonna see if I can just like push the door open.
Sure,
First guy test it.
you kind of shake it, you put a little strength into it, and it's not giving. Oz,
You hear Tripp in the back. He's like, "What's going on? Why is the door closed?"
you still have the floor, like you can feel the tension rising, right? Like it's almost bubbling to the surface. People are starting to get a little nervous. The talking continues up to this point. You can hear them sort of discussing amongst themselves. But what catches your eye first, Oz, isn't necessarily that the people are talking, they're getting nervous. It's everything to do with the fact that the fire is actually starting to rise out of the sconces. Nobody else has noticed that the fire seems to flicker. Heavier and taller with each passing moment.
Oz will say, kind of like out loud. He kind of just shouts like, just "Ride the fire!" And then he kind of like shakes his head and he looks at everybody else and he kind of, Oz is gonna try to keep people calm.
Sure. Give me a diplomacy.
Can
I'd love to see what
can
this
I
diplomacy looks like as you're trying to keep people calm.
Depending on how I roll, I'll RP it differently then.
Sure.
What were you gonna say, Cobalt?
I was gonna say, can I do I pick up on Oz since I'm looking at Oz, like say the fire thing to Rye?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
I'm
shout it,
assuming
we
so.
can
Yeah,
hear
you can hear it.
So I'll look up at the fire, and if it looks like it's growing, then I'm gonna stand up and head for the door because I want to bust it down.
Sure.
And then
And I'll be like, and I'll say, everybody stay seated.
Diplomacy 17. That may be counteracted immediately by Eli demanding that everybody stay seated. But let's see what you have to say, Oz.
Oz says,
That's right. Just everybody stay calm. Look, we've all been through a lot these last few, well, for you all, probably a while now.
The fire is starting to rise above. You're watching it. It's 3 feet and elevating higher.
Yeah,
That's kind of looking around.
Rye is starting to like put his shoulder into the door a little bit.
Sure.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Give me
I'm
a-
not
give me
I'm
a
gonna
strength.
go and
Just a lot's
give-
happening all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my like I'm gonna go over since I'm right next to the door. I'm gonna help.
As
Sure.
soon as you let me near the door, I'm gonna start just shield bashing it with my shield
Sure.
like as hard as I can. To
The
try to-
hinges.
On
Get
either side of the door,
hinges.
as you're both sort of throwing your arm and your shoulder into it repeatedly, the sconces, not only do they rise to the point where they actually dwell above the almost, I don't want to say archaic, but the almost religious-based doors. Like, these doors are like 20 feet wide. Okay, they're fucking enormous. But the fire actually curves and turns over the door, encasing the top of this in flame and slowly starting to simmer down when a voice almost cacophonously hits one of the frontal sconces, just behind the podium where Vashian Hearthmount was standing.
Yes, you thought this would all go so well. Well, it's a shame, really.
Does anyone glance back?
Yeah.
It's
Tripp's also
Android
like
back
error.
here, right?
Tripp's
Yeah,
also
Oz
hyperventilating,
turns
looking at the
around.
fire, like darting his eyes back and forth, and he's like starting to like hyperventilate.
I need a will save from Rye.
Okay.
This is important.
Well, that's my weakest roll. So
You know?
Here we go.
Rye.
Oh, classic 6.
You can reroll if you like.
Yeah, how many do I have?
5.
You got 5, dog.
Oh, well then absolutely. Achoo! Oh, excuse me. I re-rolled it on accident. Oh, good, a 4. Now I'm back to my 4s. Doing it again.
Yep.
Here we go.
Let's do this.
You're just visiting all the
Here
numbers.
we go. Let's
That's
just do
good.
it again. Nope.
Oh no!
There we go. Here we go. I'll
Getting
just do
every
the
number.
last one.
Getting every number under 10.
Oh, there
14.
you go. Finally.
There we go.
All right,
There
friend.
we go.
This is
That's it.
difficult. This is really,
That's your
really
last
difficult.
one, right?
Even or odd. And this specifically only goes to you. Why? Because you're someone who has suffered from being on fire.
Yes, I have, and I've taken that into account. Yeah, I'm gonna say even. I was about to say this is not a good situation for Rye. Fuck me, man. Fuck everything.
Odd. Rye, you're starting to lose your cool. You feel the heat. The pressure is really on. There is no more like calm and collected. It's starting to make demands. You're getting the back alley nature about yourself, right? But the flame is starting to pour over the top of this door at this point. And that voice, when it hits the room, you glance back, and there is a man that erupts from the flame, but it's only the top half of his body, and you can see nestled on his shoulders is the head of a wolf. He pulls it down and slicks his hair back as he whips it to the side. And it's Vance Cetriel, the Lopper himself.
It's good to see everyone. Good to see you here. How's everyone feeling?
Oz says, not today, sir. And he's gonna try to cast a spell magic. I don't know if it's actually gonna work in this situation.
Yikes! That's what I was afraid of. Give me that hot D1000.
Oh,
Liza.
glad it wasn't me. Sorry.
Rainwater.
That's pretty high.
That's a high
Nice.
number.
Great roll.
It's pretty high.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a great
Bad.
roll.
I
but it's-
just want to
I
live.
was gonna say 777 is the darkest timeline. I don't know.
What you're casting Dispel on target, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
On the whatever's
Top
up here.
half of the wolf man.
Yeah.
Dude, I
I
love
was
this.
like, not today, sir.
I love it.
And just like starts motioning his hands, and his little wizard hat starts jiggling on his head. But
Not today, sir. I'm gonna KS you.
I don't think dispel magic is gonna happen. I think something else is gonna happen.
Expecto Patronus.
Interestingly enough, for the sake of this is actually a really good one for you. This is called Magic Weapon. All allies within 60 feet of this receive a lesser magical attribute to their weapon. So I'm
That's
going to
funny.
treat it as a +1 for everyone's weapons.
I have that spell actually.
Magic weapons do half damage to incorporeal
I have that spell.
entities, I think.
So wait, my bare fist become +1.
You have +1 weapons, yeah.
Remember that bit when I was actually about to fire my bow?
Yeah, would have been super, super useful. Yeah, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so, friends.
I just buff everybody.
You attempt to cast Dispel Magic,
Not today.
and everybody's weapons suddenly just emit a shimmer, a sheen of sorts.
Well, we was expecting something of that nature. Interesting course of action.
Another flame seems to temper up for rise. A new body appears, this time a larger man in the shoulder, but his head seems to be a bit more slunk down. He doesn't have a lot of neck, but he seems to be emboldening a staff.
Are we going to play with our food now? Is that how we plan to move?
That didn't happen how I expected it to.
Another figure.
VESORI.
Yeah, we know what it spells already. Are you like a cheerleader or something?
You see his hand kind of curl up to his face, and there's this wry smile that seems to deviate. His eyes turn down, and then he points to Geb Heffinus. And the shirt on Geb's body immediately starts to blacken and burn off of the top of him. The fire pulls away from him, and you can actually see there are letters carved into his chest. Can
I stop him? Like, can I like cast something at this guy?
He stopped. He stops at that point, and his hands kind of come back up, like he's trying to stay warm, or as if this is a resting position for him. And then he waits. Vance takes conversation again.
Well, now that the theatrics are coming to a close, I would like to bid you adieu. This will likely be our last time seeing each other, and if we do see you again, I imagine it will be in the belly of Harrowstone. Wouldn't that be lovely?
I hope we don't see each other again.
Well,
I'm quite honest.
You see, we're slowly working our way into winding out Miss Vesoriana. So you see Miss Hawkren, she is the last step in sealing what our movement is. You can free yourselves. If you happen to escape, you can relieve yourselves of this place. Let us walk free, and we'll not chase you any further. But you have to live in this spot first. Good luck. I'd like for you to meet the triplets.
We'll see you soon.
They're master arsonists. Find your way through. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
And fire erupts from the sconces.
Prestidigitation to stop the fire from the sconces?
That is, prestidigitation does not work that way.
Oh, okay.
That would be hella intense. Oh my god, that would be the most powerful spell at that level. That being said, now we're going to get initiative.
Oh, God.
And with the fire
Gather
seeming to
around, my
erupt from the
children.
sconces this way and the door being covered in flame, this is when we see the puff and blow of multiple new figures seeming to erupt here. The crowd erupts into panic. They start charging the door. All right, let's get those initiatives. And I will set you up in combat.
Well, I guess I'm in a better
God.
position than everybody else who's gonna get like pushed up against the door.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be real bad. That's what I wanted. Give me that one.
Come at
Oh,
me,
yeah.
bro. I'll spit on you.
Oh,
Evan,
jeez.
you might want to
That
re-roll
escalated.
I think I'll be
Scared of
real
fire.
obvious.
Yeah, the,
Eli, you're down by the door, right?
I was slamming it with my shield. Yeah. Everybody within range of me gets Aura of Courage.
All right. Rye, what is your initiative?
18.
Thank you. Torvin, what's yours?
9.
Not super great. Temerity, what you got?
15.
15. Okay. Oz.
14.
Tripp.
22.
Okay, that's really good. Eli.
14.
Oh, wow. Why is
It's
it...
good for me.
Is it putting all of them back in? It's putting multiple in. This is so weird. Okay, so I've already got Rye, Torvin,
clicked on my
Temerity, Oz,
character and did it.
Tripp.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Torvin, Eli. Wow. Okay, yeah, that just fucked everything up. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Rye, what you got?
18.
18. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Torvin,
9.
9. I appreciate that. Temerity. Is that a 15?
Yes.
Thank you. Oz,
14.
14. And Tripp,
22.
22. In descending order. All right. Let's make your bad guys known. Seems really good, right? All right, there they are, and I'm gonna shift them to the token layer. 3 heads seem to erupt from these sconces, burning a brilliant green flame. He referred to them as the triplets. Flaming skulls. Me first in initiative. I'm going to say that they're Arrival is their first round. Now, just for the chat, I'm going to go ahead and do this here. Give me just a second. I have to mute to explain something for the chat. Chat,
Oh no.
this is where one of your cards come into play.
Oh.
The joke. The joke. They are incapable of slaying them
There's only one
by
of them.
normal means.
Yeah.
Someone hit-
They have to
someone
do
hit,
so cleverly.
All of our weapons are
That's it.
magical.
Yes, they are.
Jeez.
That's
Okay.
that actually might be very important.
You have about 30 or so seconds to discover and discuss what your plan of attack is, because it's going to go to Tripp first. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Rye's
Oh,
not going
boy.
to have a plan because I'm just going to play him as if he's freaking out. I'm just going to basically charge these 3 skulls, whatever they
Like
are.
Tasmanian
Yeah.
devil.
Yeah, like it
Um,
just like he is not going to listen to reason. He's not going to listen to anybody else. He's freaking out because of the fire.
Well, but here's the thing: if you're within 10 feet of me, you have Aura of Courage,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to give you.
And you're at the door.
It's gonna help you against fear. So if you're scared, it'll do that. Let me click on it.
Oh, well,
I have an area effect too that I'm gonna cast.
It's plus 4 morale bonus on saving throws against fear effects.
Okay, see, we should mention that to Bub because then I might not be in that condition. When
Yeah,
he made
kind
me
of-
roll that, were you
Oh,
at the
for the
door
will?
already?
I'm kind of
Oh,
in a
yeah.
similar situation as Rye.
Oz is gonna do what he always does, and he's gonna color spray.
I'm going straight for the hinges.
Both of these.
I have a feature that I just got that does precision strike. So anyone and I have I got solo tactics too. So basically, I have solo tactics and I have a group thing. So it's 1d6 points of precision damage with melee attacks for anyone within how many feet?
Hey, Bub.
Yes.
So, you may not have known this earlier. If I'm being afflicted by fear,
Yeah.
Eli's got an aura of courage.
Correct.
And I get a +4.
It's always passive.
That's fine. That's
Is
fine.
that okay? For my
yeah.
will?
Then that you were shaking it anyway. Even that being said, it just means you become a bit more belligerent here. You're more apt to acting rashly. But I think as the fire begins to encapsulate the building, you will probably end up acting rashly as is. I feel like it's just in the nature of your character.
Yeah.
And my teamwork, my solo tactics, anyone who is within all of my allies are treated as if they possess the same teamwork feats as me.
Okay.
Which means that everyone has 1d6 points of precision damage with melee attacks.
Okay. Now, I've got to ask. It's 11:40. You've got to leave in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you completely okay with stepping into this fight and then having to step away for what you got to do? Or do you want to
Yes.
hold this?
No. Yes. Go forward.
Because I can bring this combat into next session and start us off fiercely.
I don't want to wheeze anyone's gig
Oh,
with
you're-
my limitations.
See, but you're part of that gig, and personally, I would rather that we wait so that you can participate because we've done so few combats.
Yeah, like if we're getting combat for the first time in a while, like yeah, I would rather you get the full experience of it than say that, you know, like, oh hey, this is what you missed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're not holding me back personally
Yeah.
at all.
We make a better story together.
I know you guys are itching for fight, but I know what it's like to not have a ton of combat. And this one is gonna be hard. It's gonna require all minds on this. So we can stop right here and we can kick this back off next week. I really don't want a TPK. I really don't. But it could lead to that.
Yeah, no, even outside of that, I would say having everyone have the opportunity to play their character in combat is probably more beneficial than
I think so, yes.
doing it partially. You know?
So do you wanna-
I'm not gonna have any time limitations. The kids won't be here.
Okay.
We'll have gotten home early enough that day that I can, and I'm not working, that I can nap if I feel jet lagged. So
Then as the flame erupts around this building, as it's slowly starting to rise, you know that you only have rounds, probably a few minutes at absolute most, before this building is a burning ball of flame. Now, I am going to put some weight here on Misty's shoulders, because only Misty can have this knowledge, as she's the only person that found her way into the information at Temple of Pharasma's back study. you got to personally look at many of the prisoners of Harrowstone. I'm gonna give you a chance here to remember if you came across anyone that fits the description of the triplets, master arsonists.
Okay.
So this is gonna be a memory test. It's gonna be wisdom. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a +2 circumstance bonus to whatever you roll. The DC is gonna be, I'll set it at 17, or you fucking murder it. Perfect. Okay.
Or you murder it.
21. That's amazing. Very good. Their file was probably one of the more interesting pieces to come about. You read this, and it's going to be hard for you to put this together in the heat of the moment, but you remember the details. The triplets were master arsonists that had been known to kill hundreds, only by coincidence of the fact that they were marking buildings to be burned. Many people died due to their events. They were only caught because they had had a fight about what building they were going to burn next, and they started attacking each other before they were discovered. They had set themselves ablaze, and they were sentenced to life in Harrowstone in a burn ward, only to die by the fire of Harrowstone. So I'm going to let you file that away and figure out what you want to do with it, because that is important information and that is all I can give you.
We're your best friends, right?
And this is where we will call tonight's
Three best
session.
friends that... sorry.
Dude, this is like the worst situation for Rye.
Yeah.
Oh, I promise they get a lot worse for all the other players too. And this one's going to get nasty. It's got lots of stages of events that can occur. So, my
I have
friends.
14 HP.
Oh, no.
I have 15 HP. That's my max
So-
HP.
Oz is gonna be coordinating the get the fuck out of the town hall effort then.
I'm in the middle of all the people.
Oh. Oh, well, can you go down?
This is going to be good. I'm very excited for
Think
next
about
week.
it.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like I blue-balled Cobalt. Look at him. Like, he's just like, the man is just chomping at the bit right now.
I'm sorry.
Fine. It's fine.
We still got one more card to play right from tonight. It's that card is coming into play immediately. So one of them is occurring courtesy of last week. That was the joke. The Wanderer, actually, the Wanderer card, courtesy of Free Typhoid over here. The man's made sure that it came in positively aligned. That was a conversation with Hap.
But I figured something.
That was delightful.
Conversation with Hap. And the Lost is going to be commencing next session. I mean, well, it's already kind of happening around you. So
I'm just real quick. I'm just throwing this out there, but you guys all got on to me about like almost killing Hap at the beginning. That's been like a thing. But what did we learn this session? That Hap has his secrets too. All
we
right?
learned that he's an integral part to our mission to help us sniff these ghosts out.
Right.
He is 50 years
I was like,
old.
why didn't you put a leash on him and be like, you're coming
Ghost
with me,
dog.
Hap?
So,
Right.
He's a
Yeah.
chimera.
I didn't have to. He
so
came with
clearly,
me.
this dog is inhabited by the soul of a cat.
I think they're trying to make
God.
more
I
of
think he's
you,
the
right?
warden's. I think
Oh,
he's
Roy's
inhabited by the
crazy.
warden's
I'm
dog.
just saying he is a 50-year-old dog, and there are secrets we don't
I
know
don't
about
think he's a
Hap.
50-year-old
And I
dog.
knew it from the beginning. I knew he was suspicious.
Or,
All right.
or this is you going through what we like to call the side effects of smoking someone's wife.
Could be madness.
Fair.
Could be
Well.
long-range sentient dog that has telepathic powers, or you're crazy. One of the two.
Why
Or
not both?
he's an alien.
Either way, I'm not
To be
healing
fair,
you.
Actually,
I'm okay.
you know what? I think that's fair. I think we let half of them, half your rolls, re-roll over. So we start next week with
Ooh,
we'll say
Sure,
two.
two.
Well, two, if unless you used them all, of course. But I'm sure you guys will be
I didn't
given
use any
you'll be
of
given more
them.
luck re-rolls. I have no
yeah,
doubt in my
I didn't
mind.
use any. Oh,
So
no,
then-
I used one.
You'll have access to those next week as well. All I've got to ask Rye is can you imagine the flavor of Hap?
Oh.
Little gamey.
I think I know where he's from, but I won't say anything until the after show.
Well, if he's multiple dogs, he's like a dog turducken, right? Like,
Oh God, no!
he's
Please,
like a
no.
multi-layered dog,
Not
right?
a dog
Like,
turducken.
Yes, dog
That's
ducking.
not a thought I want. No, I
Dog
want no.
ducking.
He's a Dalmatian in a German Shepherd in a Weimaraner.
Give me a deducking, please.
And we
No.
compacted them all into a little Shiba.
It could be like when we used to joke about my Shih Tzu and my Rottweiler having a baby. He could be a Shitweiler.
Oh God. The dreaded Ratsu. Gotta watch out for that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get our adverts up here so we can move forward and make sure that everybody gets their proper sleep or whatever they're gonna be doing tonight. So, folks, we're starting with Cobalt, the man of the legend. Tell us about your boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
What's up? I'm Cobalt. I play lots of indie action adventure roguelike dungeon crawler stuff, and I just died today on my streak because I got the Tainted Lost, who's really hard to win with. But we're gonna get back up there and do some more runs tomorrow, and maybe I did like an early stream today because my kid's in preschool, so that might happen some more throughout the week. And you can find me here on Tuesdays at 8 and on Roll For It on Thursdays at noon Central,
Nice.
playing D&D and video games. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man, always. Misty, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
I've been sewing a lot again, which I'm delighted with. And here on Tuesdays, and I'll be gone for a week, so sorry. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just going to hang out with some friends and do some fun stuff. Nothing big. Just
That's-
getting married.
That's big news.
Nothing.
That's big news.
Nothing
Oh,
big.
that I saw your tweet and I almost convinced Cora to go.
Oh, stop. Don't say that because I will totally tell you where it is.
Like we've been because
No,
I
have
told
a
you that
room
we've
for
been to
tomorrow.
we
Like
'cause-
an empty room.
oh man, that's well like we can't now. That we
I-
can't now. But like
Oh.
but we used to go to I told you like we used to go to
Mhm.
Dragon Con every year, like for like 5-6 years or something like that. So
I want to
Yeah.
go.
she's been
Next
we've
year.
been talking about it, and then we saw your tweet and I was like, well, like shit's going down, not to like invite you ourselves to your wedding or
you
whatever,
totally
but like
invited.
I figured if you're at Dragon Con we could at least hang out,
And yeah.
But,
Yeah, my friend had to cancel her room for tomorrow, so she put it in my name. So I actually have an empty room.
Nice.
So
Just for tomorrow, though?
just for tomorrow. However, I'll talk to you offline. There's a million rooms open because so many people canceled.
Perfect.
all right. We'll see. Sorry, I don't mean. Sorry, we hijacked this.
You're fine. Wild.
And Maggie, talk to me about it because the best time to reserve for next year is basically tomorrow or next week.
Yeah. Wild,
I
sir.
can't plan for next year.
Tell us about your boss.
Unfortunately.
What are you doing?
I,
Where can we find
I've been
you?
playing a large amount of Minecraft of late. I'm getting into the new version 1.17 and want some modding out there. Been getting back into Fallout 76. The new campaign that's in there is pretty fun. And there's some crazy OP stuff that you can do and having fun with it. Icarus. I've been poking at that, and I do recommend you take a look too. It's an excellent little game.
Yeah, I've been checking. I've seen that out as well, and I'm kind of interested. It's piqued my
Very
interest for
early
sure.
beta.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
think
Very,
it's far
very-
enough along that we should jump in now, or should we just kind of wait?
I think there's no reason to jump in right away, but because they are literally going through the process of making it work better and better. But the first beta was actually quite good for a beta. Like was respectable. The next one's coming up. They're going to be. I mean, this one was meant actually quite gentle, just to learn what survival is in that game. And the next one they're bringing in the storms, so it gets a lot harder.
Cool.
I think it's worth having a look.
Sick. I like it. I'm gonna check it out myself. It seems right up my alley. Maggie, tell us about your boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey, you can find me at MargaretKrohn in all of the places. That's my name, so that's where you can find me. I do a lot of things on the internet. I'm currently still looking for some more projects to do. So if you know somebody that needs somebody, holla. But I am over on Roll For It on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, and over on Sunday we will be doing our grand finale of The Last Ditch. If you want to watch me play Rickenbacker, where we're playing Warhammer 40k. So that's what's going on with me. And I also make video games for a living. If you want to check out the project that I'm working on, it is called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places.
Yes, all of these things. All of these things are true. Hello, sir. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey guys, usually when I'm active streaming, I'm streaming at 4 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're in Insomnia, you're welcome to come on along. You can find all my socials on my main page, though I have not streamed the last couple weeks. I probably won't stream much this week, which is what I was going to tell Imperial too, is that even if I wanted to go to Dragon Con, I really can't because I've got a bad ulcer. So I've just been taking it easy lately, but you're more than welcome to follow and catch me when I do go live when I am feeling a little bit more healthy.
My man.
Yeah, take care of you.
Do that for sure. For sure. Xander, buddy, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you these days? When Tripp isn't, trying to
Tripping.
kill people.
Well, there you can find me at XanderDarks on Twitch and on Twitter when I go live. Currently playing the last part of the Final Fantasy XIV main story quest for Shadowbringers, so going through that right now. Outside of that, I'm here on Tuesdays, and hopefully when we get the second game back up, possibly Wednesdays. So that's what we're working on. Also, world's best unranked TF. So if you guys ever want to see top tier League of Legends gameplay, that's what this guy is on the casual bracket.
Oh God.
For you, I'd reinstall it. So.
Oh my goodness. Terrible. Guys, at least me. I mean, you're already here. You know what I do. This is what I do. I tell stories. I make voices loud, and I try to have a good time. You found your way here. I appreciate you. You're scholars. You're gentle people. You're beautiful. You probably got good butts. And if you don't, you're lying to yourself. You actually do. So, support on Patreon. Keep the stream alive. Keep the dream alive. Hit the follow button if you haven't already yet. And I'm going to release these folks off into the world so they can figure out what to do with their life, including packing for their wedding tomorrow and stuff like that. So, bye, everybody.
Bye. They go taste better with whey protein.